flipped itself back from where I had it. So
Here now, just a
this
minute.
is the final countdown, the last 100 miles. There we are. All right. So in the style of Smeggy, little intro music here. So we'll be on the final countdown. It's the final countdown. All right, that was.
All right, we're good.
That's as good as it's gonna
was
get.
the, Vienna.
That was actually the high point, probably, of this whole live stream.
Vienna Boys Choir.
That was the Vienna Boys Choir. Absolutely.
12-year-old edition.
I don't
All right.
think that we're gonna make the cut in those tryouts.
No, wait. I
The
think your voice
tree-outs.
Your voice is too low for this choir. Sorry.
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 That's because we've actually we can shave.
Yes.
We don't, but we could if we wanted to.
We
That's
may.
why we have beards,
Yes.
because we don't want to.
This is true. So we're down to 110 miles before we stop for gas. 106 miles before we stop for gas.
106 miles before we stop.
It's been a faster trip home than it was going down, in my opinion.
Well, that's just because we didn't stop at Cabela's. Cabela's.
Yeah, no, I wasn't worried about that.
Well, here's the thing though. Cabela's is kind of like the time is different.
Mhm.
Like I can go into Cabela's for half an hour. I could go in at 2 o'clock in the afternoon for half an hour, and come back out, and it's like February.
This is true. This
So-
is true. It's like you hit that bargain cave and then you forget about the time.
Forgot about everything. Plus,
Forget
there's
about
all the
the
new
date.
shiny stuff.
Yes,
There's deer
Squirrel!
calls.
Squirrel.
There's deer calls that I haven't ever bought yet
Yes.
or tried.
Yes.
There's tree stands to look at.
We're looking at the
Not
latest.
that I climb trees.
Checking out the latest in camo. Like
the
what's
new
what's new on
Cabela's O2 Octane
Yes.
is I don't have any yet because I
It's
can't
cool.
justify buying new hunting clothes when
It's
I
like
have.
it's like a desert Monet.
It's
It's like a Monet.
It's like a
desert Monet.
yes. It's beautiful. It's a thing of beauty.
If you hold it up in the background, you can't see anything. It's better than everything.
I should just get a swath of that and make a background to videos.
Desert Monet is what I call it. It's yes.
Desert Monet. I think
Yep.
O2 Octane sounds better.
Yep. I agree.
So we'll go with that. But if you haven't checked out Cabela's O2 Octane camo pattern, I highly recommend checking it out. I can't say if it works very well personally, but on the videos, they show somebody wearing that camo in a variety of different environments, woods and mountains and grasslands and trees and open country and rocks.
Let's just say this right now. If you're in Oklahoma, northern Texas, and all the way through North Dakota,
If you're
it's
anywhere,
probably going to work in about every.
well,
anywhere in
I
that
think
whole-
if you're in that place, what's that called? Earth? If you're
Yeah.
on Earth,
Yeah, flat Earth.
and the only thing that I don't know that it would work well is in like the Arctic or Antarctica, either one, where it's
Snow
nothing
camo?
but
No.
snow.
No.
Now if there's snow on the ground and there's still some trees, some rocks, some dirt showing, then I don't think it would be a problem.
Yep.
But if it's nothing but white, then maybe this isn't the camo for you. But then just all white maybe would be good camo. Just a thought.
Sure. It
Sure.
worked. It worked in Red Dawn.
Did work in Red Dawn. It works
Yeah.
for the polar bears,
Yeah, it does.
except
It
for
does.
they're not actually white.
No, they're more of a yellow, aren't they?
Well,
Like a
polar
green-
bear
like a green
polar bear
color?
hairs have no pigment; they're clear.
Oh, okay.
But they,
There
from
you go.
you get enough of them together and they look white
Yeah.
from a distance.
Yeah.
Except for their nose, the only black on them. And I read somewhere that polar bears have been known to walk with one paw over their nose and walk three-legged with a paw over their nose, just because like caribou and things like that can see that nose for miles, standing out against the white background. So a polar bear, as camo, puts his own paw over his nose, sometimes, or her.
Sure, maybe the polar bear just doesn't have a cold nose and he's just trying to like warm it up.
I'm not sure.
Okay,
It could
it
be
could
that.
be both.
Either way,
It
party
could be both.
bonus.
Yeah. Yes.
Tardots on. We need some
So-
theme music in the back. We had theme music in the foreground. That's better than in the background.
Tardot, if you can help us out, take the link for this and post it over on gunchannels.com.
Oh, yeah.
Let the crowd know
If
that,
if
that
anybody
we're
can
out
get it there.
Yeah, man.
Anybody who can get this on Gun Channels for me, that would be cool. I would appreciate it.
We're, I don't know how far we are from the Nebraska border right now.
We're not.
Eventually, we're going to hit Interstate 80 and then we're fine. So
I know for sure.
we are in
We
Kansas.
still are in Kansas. We haven't crossed the line yet.
Yes. I crossed the state. I don't know if it's because Oklahoma's longer,
I don't
taller,
know.
whatever
I
you
don't
want to
know.
say. But it's the drive across Oklahoma just always seems to take forever to get to Texas. Kansas is always a quick trip, maybe because you're still awake and alert, and you're still flying off the caffeine.
Probably.
Yeah.
That's probably it. I don't know what it is, but
Yeah.
I don't know. It always takes way longer to get home than it does to get there, seems like.
Yep. Let's talk Wanamaker for a little bit.
Let's do it.
So
do it, Wanamaker. There
you
go.
wanna go looking for a certain gun at Wanamaker. What's your advice?
Okay, so here's the deal. If you want to look for a certain gun,
Let's say you want a Beretta 92 M3.
M9A3.
M9A3?
If
Okay.
you're looking for that,
Yeah, you want that.
then there's a pretty good chance you can find it. But here's the thing: if you're going for a specific gun, you probably can find it there. I did see an M9A3 in the last 45 minutes of the last day. There, I walked by a table that had one.
So your chances of finding
Thanks,
more,
Tardot. Appreciate you.
Thanks, bro. Chances of finding more might be to start early on Saturday morning.
Right. Well, and that's the thing. We did a lot of I wouldn't say shopping, but looking around on the first day. We did, I helped out Travis with a few videos. I volunteered to run his camera.
Solid cameraman, by the way. This guy rocks.
We'll see.
Freaking amazing. No, it looks,
That'll be up to you guys once he gets the videos edited and
Put that up this week, man.
Yeah, posted.
Yeah.
But I wanted to help out as much as I could and contribute a little bit. So Travis did some good interviews, and I did what I could running the camera for him. And we just kind of did a lot of stuff that wasn't just walking up and down the rows of tables. And we did more of that on Sunday, but the problem is go on Saturday and look and find what you want, and if you don't find it, then you've got half a day on Sunday. But get there early as soon as it opens and start looking. Number one, Sunday morning is fun to go look because the crowd hasn't shown up because they're in church. There are people there, but it got a lot busier.
Half the crowd. Yeah.
It got a lot busier at afternoon because the people got out of church and showed up. By 2 o'clock, people were starting to pack their stuff up.
Prices.
It went till 4.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
by 2 o'clock, you've got people that are packing up and pulling out already. It's kind of like a needle in a haystack sometimes to find what you want. Now, if you're looking for, a lever gun, you're gonna find
combo.
it.
I didn't see a lot of combo guns, but I was really looking at it. Yeah.
We did see that one at the hotel.
There was a combo gun.
That gun didn't. When we were leaving the hotel yesterday morning to go to the show, that guy had that gun slung over his shoulder in the lobby there.
Yeah,
that was like a 22 410 or something like that combo.
Okay, I got you.
What is who makes that? It's a newer production.
There's even companies like Rossi have made them.
I think Rossi.
Rossi.
For something specific, like be single-minded and hunt for it until you find it and don't get distracted. So don't have OCD or ADD, whatever, like I do. But it is possible to find just about everything there. Now, what I would say is maybe go not looking for one thing specific, like have a list or whatever of, hey, it'd be cool if I could find this, it'd be cool if I could find this. But it was fun just to walk up and down with no expectations and see what you could see. And
don't be surprised if you find something you're not looking for that really appeals to you and you walk out with it.
Now, one thing about the size of that show, the gun shows that I've been to in Nebraska, you might see 1 or 2 P08 Lugers.
Yeah.
You might see 1 or 2 C96 broom handle Mausers. And then we saw tables that had half a dozen to a dozen Lugers at one table.
Tables is the key here.
Yeah. Down the roadaways, you might see a table that has 3 or 4 broom handles. So it's the stuff that's rare where I'm from. Like these up and they're for sale there. So that was pretty neat to see. You see there was a guy that had antique Winchester lever actions, and we saw one. None of us touched it. None of us were that brave, but there was a Winchester 73. Chambered in 22 short. Yes. Price tag on that was $23,000 for this one rifle. Antique Winchester model 1873 and 22 short. I saw another one somewhere else in 22 long that was worth. I think the price tag was like $11,000. Oh, yeah. So clearly 22 short was a limited production, or I don't know what happened, but
Must have been insanely rare.
I don't know my lever gun values at all. I just know that growing up watching westerns and reading Louis L'Amour, I love me some Winchester lever action.
Now, there was a shop owner that told me that 2 years ago it was mostly black guns, AKs and ARs. Did not see a lot of AKs. Surprising.
Not nearly as
V2,
many.
A Raz, a Wasser, a few underfolders. I didn't see tables and tables of them. The guy told me that what he's seeing now is a lot more of the antique guns coming out, the cowboy guns were coming out.
The SASS guns.
The which ones?
The single action.
Oh, single action.
Or the cowboy action, cowboy shooting, cowboy guns.
Revolvers.
But what I didn't see, I didn't see was new reproductions. I didn't see the Ubertis. I didn't see the Cimarrons.
Yeah, this is true.
I saw like these were vintage antique, real Winchesters, real Colts. I don't think I've seen that many Colt revolvers in my life. Just on some of those tables had more vintage antique Colt revolvers, not just single action armies, but even newer ones, police positive, detective specials, anacondas, pythons, cobras. Not this new Cobra travesty, but the real Colt Cobra. I saw a lot of that stuff, and some of these tables had more than I've ever seen in my life put together just at that one table. So that was pretty cool.
I think for a lot of these guys, maybe they're digging into the vaults now, putting stuff out there to sell it because they know, and a lot of them maybe have not replenished that AR inventory because the sales have slowed down so much that they don't want to take a gamble on putting a full table full of ARs out like they did last time.
Right.
But what was your overall favorite display that you saw? What was it that you thought was just cool? What did you think personally? What did you see that you just thought was awesome?
I'm
one that really caught your attention.
I'm gonna say it was that Bighorn Armory. That I just keep coming back to that. Part of it was the people. Those guys were just cool.
Yeah.
And now we told them, of course, who we were with that we had YouTube channels and stuff like that. We're part of the gunchannels.com community, and of course the guy agreed to be interviewed, and that was pretty cool. And we gave him both of our YouTube channels, and before we were done walking away, I had a notification on my phone that I had a new sub, so that was pretty cool too. So thanks, Sam, for subbing to my channel. You were like number 32 sub that I had there, so that was pretty cool.
People were incredibly receptive to us. They were we didn't have anybody that
I had one person who I was talking to. They were asking us about our press passes we had hanging around our necks, and I said, yeah, we can come back and do an interview sometime if you want. And the guy was like, I'm like, all right, yeah, see, we wouldn't do that unless you wanted us to. So but that was it. But anybody that Travis talked to, I mean, I don't know if it's just you got a cool way to ask or something. I don't know how you were wording it, but
I offered him a Jolly Rancher.
Offer him well, there you go, free candy. Hey, you want some candy?
Want some candy? Well, that's wrong.
We know a guy with a white van out in the parking lot.
That's terrible.
It's got a bed in it. You gonna stay in this lane?
Yeah, definitely. No, everybody was friendly. I tried to just go up and talk to the small businesses that would make something, that they're offering some kind of products that maybe I'd never seen online before. So that's what I try to go talk to, some of those smaller companies.
I tell you what though, that Bighorn Armory, I wish I had that card. I've got it in my backpack. I don't have the card here to tell you the exact website, but
those guys were very cool.
Bighorn Armory in Cody, Wyoming. I think just a Google search would bring that up.
Yep.
You know what? It's the best part about being a cell phone salesman. I got a second phone.
Yeah, Bighorn
Let me
Armory.
Google this.
If you guys are just joining us right now, what it was is they offered big bore lever action rifles.
Yeah, big bore.
All handmade, custom built.
If you caught my live feed earlier when we were in the car and I said the gun that it looked like the Jurassic World gun, that 4570 Marlin, it looked like the guy that thought these up looked at that and said, look at that, that's cute, hold my beer and let's make a real man's gun.
Pretty much.
Because these made that 4570 look like a pea shooter, like a Red Ryder.
Lots of options you can add onto the guns. About 60 hours of time go into it, like we mentioned earlier. So it was cool. That was my overall favorite display. We'll come back to those guys up.
I think it is BighornArmory.com. I'm checking.
Yeah. Real quick, my favorite display overall was the Build-A-Bear Studio, where you go pick your parts, you pick your upper, you pick your lower, you pick your furniture, you pick your sights, and you could a la carte your AR, pay for it right there. Which was just sweet. I mean, it was awesome. You could choose whatever upper you want, whatever lower. Yeah, you get to do it online, But you can do it right there and walk out with it, and you're done. You know, and that is awesome. Oh, we can do an infinity view.
Bighorn Armory. If this is jumpy, I'm sorry. I don't think it'll focus very well. But bighornarmory.com.
Yeah, definitely check
They're
them out.
located in Cody, Wyoming. They build all their own parts. They build these rifles from the ground up. And again, that's the one that the base price was what, $2,800 or something.
Yeah,
they're making big bore stuff like 454 Casull.
500 Smith
was their little one.
Yeah, it started at 450 and then went up.
And then they went up to all the way up to 500. And so I asked them because they said they can go up to a 700 grain a bullet in that 500.
Yeah.
I said, what is it have a barrel on a 500, a 700 grain 500 Smith & Wesson Magnum? He says, about 2650
feet per second.
So that's almost 30-06 velocity.
Yeah.
But 700 grains, not 180.
Again, that thing dissolves oxygen. That thing rips through the air. It can tear a hole in the space-time continuum.
Well, at the risk of triggering anybody, he was telling a story about he was in a deer blind hunting and he wasn't seeing any deer, and he also had a small game permit, and a rabbit came running out and stopped in the middle of the road, and so he decided just to see what would happen. There was not even a lucky rabbit's foot left. He said it literally. You know how Travis is 17 WX LMNOP whatever. HSWSM-I incinerator round 17 WSM.
Okay. Winchester short.
And it'll take an elephant and just make it disintegrate because it tumbles around in there and just kills them dead. That little 17 caliber elephant gun.
Yeah.
Now that effect I think actually was done with that 500 with that rabbit. So
yeah, it was kind of the reverse.
Right.
But it was
Right. He said it was just there was nothing there. It was like when you shoot a pumpkin with a 500, it was just nothing. So sorry if that triggers anybody, but if you're a hunter, then you get it. You know the plight of no deer. I don't see anything to shoot at, and a target of opportunity comes up. So you do what you can sometimes. It happens. I think we've all shot that fence post once or twice.
Yeah.
Salt block.
Yeah, no doubt.
Out in the pasture. Oh, look, there's a salt block left over from when the cattle were in here. Let's see if I can hit it. Yeah. So anyway, that's still been my favorite. Although I think a close second was maybe that FK Burno.
That thing was pretty interesting.
The 7.5 millimeter elk pistol.
Yeah, that thing is a beast, man. Very front heavy, and it should be.
It was, but then
but you appreciate it when you fire.
The dust cover on that thing was just crazy. And I said, so is that all recoil spring in that? And he goes, yeah, it's got to be that heavy. So the recoil spring was that heavy because of course the recoil from the power from the round, and then just the lug that dust cover was just heavy. That frame was just, there's no other word but heavy. But then at the same time it was well balanced.
Yeah. Because
you want a pistol to be front heavy, for accuracy.
Yeah.
But I picked it up, and I mean I wasn't holding it level, but I was holding it, under the level of the table across from us. But
what about that front sight?
I could hold that front sight, or hold that sight picture.
It was tiny.
It was a tiny little front sight.
Little teeny tiny dot. I was like,
well, it had a little stainless steel, like a gold bead, but it was a stainless steel bead on the end of it. My eyes didn't have a problem, in the expo center. They were picking it up. Yeah, they weren't fancy. They weren't fiber or anything like that. But it was very easy to just hold it steady. And hold a sight picture the way that you would want to for taking big game, especially with the pistol. To be able to squeeze the shot off. So that was pretty neat. Of course, you couldn't dry fire any of these because they were required to be zip tied through the action through the receiver, so the slides wouldn't cycle. Hammers wouldn't come back because the hammers were zip tied down on anything that was single action or double action. So they of course had to keep them as safe as they could.
Yeah.
But
what were they asking for the FK? Was it 7,000, 6,000?
775 or 8,500. 7,000, 7,500, something like that. But the guy said that his minimum order has been $10,000 on one of those because everybody is getting 1,000 or 2,000 rounds of ammo.
Rounds for it. And the gun is a limited run. So I don't know what you're planning on. I mean, I guess in your lifetime you can enjoy it, but the shells, what's the guarantee you're going to be able to find ammo for in 20 years?
But if I've got 1,000 rounds,
yeah, you'll be fine.
Of elk ammo. I mean,
it doesn't matter.
I'm thinking that after we're good, and we're back. Sorry, YouTube tried to boot me.
If you go to Honest Outlaw Reviews and watch him, he's one of the first guys in the U.S. to get one to test on his channel.
Oh,
he's
hey.
just firing through mag after mag. I mean, he did like 200 rounds in the first in his raid session.
Tardot's making comments, and I'm not seeing them because I'm not paying attention to my screen.
Oh man,
sorry, Tardot. I know you said some profound stuff, but I can't see what it was.
Yeah, no, overall, I think it was definitely a good time. I would have to say that, yeah, definitely do one day of shopping one day and then the next day interviews if you want to cover gun content.
If you're a gun channel or a YouTube channel. Now, if you're just going down because you're going to a gun show, then, you know, the sky's the limit. Do whatever you want to. Look for stuff one day. Just look at stuff one day.
Yep.
But the nice thing is, of course, some of those booths were pretty busy, but everybody was friendly. Everybody was very very personable. You know, and of course, if you've never been to a gun show, it's just courtesy. Don't pick up a gun without asking.
Yeah, I kind of did. One time I was like, what's that? And I was totally, what was it, that
that DP12 shotgun,
whatever it was? Yeah.
The DP12 double barrel, double magazine shotgun, the pump action. And there was that table actually had signs right all over the table.
They were
that said,
neon.
Do
and
not,
I didn't even see it. I was so blinded
they were
by
like,
the light.
like Dago Chartreuse.
Yeah, they were
signs.
Road construction.
And they said,
road
"Do not touch without permission."
Yeah.
And I think those were just issued by the Wanamaker show.
Yeah.
Because a lot of booths had them. If you, they were
like,
laminated signs.
What was that thing like? Was it like
DP12s?
1,099.
1,300.
Okay.
1,300 was the price she said. But if you got permission and they said it was okay to pick it up, nobody said no. It's just don't, you know, they wanted to kind of have a handle on who was touching what.
In case you're about to do something you shouldn't do.
Well, not only that, but it also keeps, you know, helps keep stuff from walking away.
Yeah.
You know, handguns most of the time were all tethered with security cables. And not all the long guns were, but again, I mean, they had somebody watching what was going on. But that DP12 had, what'd you think of that? That's a lightweight gun, huh?
I feel like I was lifting irrigation pipe.
And it was empty.
Yeah, and you know what?
And it'll hold 14 plus 2 of 12 gauge, 2 3/4 inch.
I would love to use that for snow goose season because there's no shell limit on snow geese.
That's true. However,
I don't even know if is there a bag limit on snows.
I have never hunted.
I don't think so. I think
never hunted the gooses, so I couldn't tell you.
You know, the spread might be a little wild and crazy.
Well, that's just it. Your barrels are a little bit short, but they're not as short as they look because it's a bullpup design.
Yeah.
So Travis was looking at it like, where's the ejection port? And I'm like, that's behind your elbow,
rear,
behind the trigger. They bottom eject out of the right in front of the buttstock is where they bottom eject. So now my wife's brother actually owns one of those, and he said that can be kind of fun if you shoot it a lot. Those eject right down basically into the crook of your elbow, so sometimes you get some nice warm
little brass
shot
hinges,
shell holes.
Brass
If you're shooting it, you know, in a t-shirt or some short sleeve shirt or something. But for the most part, if you're shouldering it or whatever, then it's not a big deal. But yeah, I know that those guns sell anywhere from 1,100 to 1,500, depending on where you find them in the price.
Did not see a Taurus TH9 or TH9 compact. I just wanted to wanted to see one and hold one.
Every booth that had handguns, like Travis just kind of walked away with his shoulders all slumped down.
I was like, I just want to see what it looks like.
Tear in his eye.
I know.
I want to see a TH9.
Well, let's talk about another Taurus that we're interested in.
Okay.
The Taurus
Spectrum.
I keep wanting to say Spectre.
It's not the Spectre. That's a bad guy in James Bond, or a bad organization.
We were pretty impressed with the fit and finish overall.
I was. I wanted to get some hands on this because
could have passed off as a Ruger.
Now I know that we've been hearing about this thing since SHOT Show, not this year, but SHOT Show 2017, they unveiled the Taurus Spectrum.
Yep.
And for whatever reason, we never saw them all summer long, all winter long in the stores. It wasn't until shortly after SHOT Show 2018 that they finally started shipping.
Yeah.
Now, I have seen one in my local gun store in Norfolk.
Norfolk.
If you want to know what that's about, go back and watch my other boring video from when we were driving. Worcestershire sauce and Cairo, Nebraska, and Norfolk, Nebraska. Yep. So I have seen the Taurus Spectrum, but I didn't get to hold it just because the day that I was in there, I was in a hurry. They were busy, and I didn't bother anybody to go unlock the case and then let me see it. So I was able to actually get hands on one at one of the booths, who did offer to ship it for free if I bought it.
Prices varied, kind of depending on the finish that you wanted.
Right, that's true. Now, the thing about the Taurus Spectrum is you can get, I want to say, 2 different colors of metal. They have a blue steel, or it's almost black finish, kind of like a gloss or something like that.
Yep.
Or a stainless, kind of like a brushed stainless finish, kind of a matte, not real shiny stainless. But then the neat thing about this is it's got these rubber inserts in the grip, and then instead of serrations at the back of the slide for cocking, it's got these little indentations that also have little rubber inserts. Now these are like chemically bonded to the metal. They don't come out, they don't peel out. Taurus says that cleaning solution isn't going to take them out or anything like that, so you don't have to worry about this stuff, just the glue coming off. There's some sort of bonding process that makes them permanent, but they're rubber and it's indented, and you can actually get a very good purchase.
Yes.
To pull that slide back.
That first round.
The sights aren't much. They're about like TCP sights if you've been around the Taurus compact pistol, the little 380, which this is a 380. That other one's going away, the TCP's going away, and the Spectrum is now what they're going to market for their small pocket pistol. But the sights are pretty much the same.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't pay attention, I guess, to see if it had a last empty mag hold open. But I know the TCP is one of the few small pistols that size that will lock the slide open on an empty mag. So I would hope that the Spectrum would follow suit. I guess I don't know about that one. I'll have to check it out.
Yep.
But yeah, the sights aren't really made for target shooting or plinking. It's a big surprise. Your pocket pistol, I guess, isn't going to be a bullseye shooter. What are the chances?
Yeah, but still, it's going to work when it needs to.
It's going to do what it needs to, because if you have to pull that thing out to save your life, I think that shooting bullseyes is going to be the last thing on your mind, and your pocket pistol is probably you're at a range of point blank anyway. So just pull it out and squeeze the trigger, and you're going to do some damage.
I'm kind of curious if they're going to keep making the curve. I don't know if it's been a good seller for them. I didn't see any. I've seen one.
There.
I've held one before.
I've held one once for about 10 seconds, and then I handed it back and said, "Okay, well, that's stupid."
That was fun. Yeah. You
I
side behind it.
Nothing about the Taurus Curve that appeals to me personally. I'm not saying it's a dumb gun. Well, I guess I did say that.
Give Taurus some credit for trying
It's
to
not
come up with
a dumb gun. It is innovative.
New.
It's a great idea in concept. It's
like the PS90 of pistols.
That's true. Well, yeah, really. And it looks like something out of Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah, it does. It does. And they are made in the USA.
What was that?
That one's actually made in the USA.
Marvel's Inhumans. I think that's what. I think they featured a couple Taurus Curves.
Yep.
In there as kind of like some sort of futuristic Inhuman laser gun thing, but it was just a Taurus Curve.
Yep.
We all know the truth. ABC. We're on to you. But no, it does look exactly like something that somebody who lives on the moon would carry.
Product placement.
Yeah, Inhumans can get that Taurus endorsement. Why can't Matt?
Yeah, no doubt. Matt's way cooler than that show. See, more people watch Matt's show than Inhumans.
That's probably true. I don't know if
they wasted their money not just
picked up for a second
could have put
season.
one out there and did a review on it before anybody else.
Never enough Taurus.
They have 400,000 views in no time at all. I'm telling you.
So, So no, that Taurus Spectrum seems like the real deal, but the rubber inserts, you can get those in I don't know, 30 colors.
Yeah, there's like.
Oh, and you can get a white gun too, white metal.
Yeah, white frame,
black
and
metal,
white slide.
stainless metal, or white metal, and then
Yep.
pink, teal, blue, red, black, gray, white, yellow, any orange, any color you can think of.
They are
It's a
magically
normal
delicious.
color.
They are magically delicious.
Yes, they are. They're always after me, Lucky Spectrum.
There was after me Lucky Spectrum.
That's why it's called the Spectrum, because the colors come in the full spectrum and then some.
Yep.
Actually, purple. The rubber inserts come in just about every color. You can go to Taurus website and see what you can do. And it's kind of neat because you click on your metal color and then you click on your rubber insert color and it'll show a picture of what it looks like. So you can kind of see if it's going to look cool or not, if it's for you. So if you want to customize, kind of semi-customize your gun, bling it out a little bit without ever actually changing anything from the factory, seems like it's going to be good. Now I kind of want to get a hands-on review sometime, and maybe you can talk to
Stan
somebody.
never decides to buy one.
Stan, if you buy one,
Yeah.
please let Travis do a review on that.
Yeah, maybe he'll pick one up for his wife.
And I think I would make a trip to your house the weekend that you do that.
Yeah, heck yeah, man. We can just go right to the range and have fun.
We could review that together, so I can say that I got
review.
co-op. I'll run the
Co-op.
camera.
No,
I'll run the camera if you
film
want.
it, and then we'll share it between both of our channels.
There you go.
You can feature
There
on
you
yours,
go.
I'll feature it on mine, and together we'll conquer the
It'll
world.
be the Sandhills P11.
There you go. Sandals SP11.
Sand SP11. There we go.
CZ SP11. They're like, there's no SP11. Well, I'm Czech. It's SP11.
That's right.
It's Sandhills Patushka 11. Yeah,
That's right. And I'm Nebraskan.
Yes.
So I was actually I was
Nebraska.
I was adopted as an infant, so I don't really know a whole lot of my biological history, but I was raised by people with my name's Anderson, so Swedish name, mostly German. Mostly German.
Anderson. Yes.
Anderson.
I am also my grandfather's mother's maiden name is Anderson. Anderson.
Oh, the right way.
Yeah.
The right way.
Heck yeah.
You
Not
can-
the right way, or is the right way?
That's the right way. S-E-N is Danish, S-O-N is Swedish. And
Either
that-
way, they both make fantastic pastries and design wonderful
now
furniture.
here's another town in Nebraska that's mispronounced a lot. Dannebrog. Dannebrog. D-A-N-N.
Dannenborough is what a
Yeah,
lot of
see, people
say.
think it's Dannenbrog, but they're throwing an N in there that doesn't need to be there. D-A-N-N-E-B-R-O-G. Dannebrog. That's actually the name of the Danish flag, I was told. I lived there for a short time, and they're very proud of their Danish heritage. It's the Dane capital of Nebraska. There's a very famous, at least famous for Nebraska, author named Roger Welch. He used to do a segment on Good Morning, CBS This Morning, or CBS Sunday Morning.
CBS Sunday Morning, yeah.
CBS Sunday Morning.
Yeah.
With Charles Kroll. Roger Welch did a segment on that. So he's a Nebraska author, lives right there in Dannebrog. So that's pretty cool, their claim to fame. But there was a guy who was telling me, my neighbor was telling me that the name Dannebrog is the name of the Danish flag, and that guy has a gift shop downtown named The Little Mermaid, which was not the Disney movie, but the story of The Little Mermaid was written by Hans Christian Andersen, also a famous Danish author.
Yes.
And so the shop was named after that, and he's got all kinds of gifts in there. And it was pretty funny. I saw a coffee mug in there that said, "You can always tell a Dane, but you can't tell him much." I think you could pretty much substitute any nationality.
Oh, yeah,
in
you
there.
can put anything in there. Well, there's some that-
you can always tell a Czech, but you can't tell him much.
No. Check me
You
out
can
on
always,
that one. 'Cause I gotta
you
follow
can
it.
always tell a YouTuber, but you can't tell him much.
Let's hope they tell us much.
That's true.
You can always tell a YouTuber. Yep.
That's true. That's true. If not, you can hear a lot from the YouTubers.
Yes.
Whether
Yes.
or not it's worth hearing
Yes.
remains to be seen.
That is the question. So rolling in on 3:38 Central Time. We don't know when you guys are ever going to watch this podcast, but
We are coming right up to the state line. We're past Concordia. We're past Belleville.
is it right here?
Right up here, not too far.
We're just about back in
We're
Nebraska.
almost back to the good life.
It's been nice to travel across these states armed and secure.
Yes.
And safe and not having to worry about being charged with a felony.
Thank you, reciprocity.
Kansas.
We don't have federal
Constitutional carry, Kansas.
well,
thank you for that.
constitutional carry in Kansas.
Yeah, that's awesome. It makes it easy for
We love
us.
you, Kansas. We wish your neighbors to the north would consider such a thing. But it was nice just to have concealed carry reciprocity with the states of Kansas and Oklahoma.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that. I don't know how I feel. I can see both sides of the argument on national reciprocity being a federally mandated thing. I know how Matt feels. I know how most everybody else feels, and I can see both sides of the coin, like I said. But I'm happy that the 38 states that I can carry in, I don't know, 30 plus states in the union that I can legally exercise my right to carry with my Nebraska permit. So that's nice. I really appreciated that. I appreciate the fact that I don't have to feel like I'm what do I want to say, a soft target?
Yeah. That's pretty much sums it up.
Yeah. I accidentally bumped into a guy at the gun show yesterday, and I said, "Oh man, I'm sorry. I apologize for bumping into him." I said, "It's a good thing we weren't moving any faster. I could have killed you." Because again, me being such a little fella, and he was not a large framed person, the guy that I bumped into, and he said, "Looking at you, you'd think that you'd be a lot softer to run into, but you were pretty solid." I said, "Thanks." I said, "That's because I'm not a soft target."
Exactly.
He kind of laughed. He understood what I meant by that. So that was kind of nice.
Everybody was just.
How many guns?
Awesome.
How many guns do you think? We tried to talk about this last night. How many guns do you think were in the building?
Okay, let's just say we had 3,500 tables.
Let's say bare minimum 3,000 tables had firearms on them. Not because we saw a table full of uppers, that didn't have a firearm on there, but they had an unfinished upper. So that wouldn't count as a firearm. But 3,000 tables had firearms. So an average number of firearms per table, 10.
I think so.
These are low bars. I'm sure. I can do simple math.
Reconnecting there.
Reconnecting.
So
I can do simple mathematics.
Every single individual there could have picked up a gun at one time and possibly done some sort of bodily harm with it.
And some of those long.
Every single person had access to a gun.
We're reconnecting.
But as Matt says, if you've got good guys with guns, you're not going to get bad guys with guns.
Isn't that funny how that works?
Yeah, because
if everybody hasn't seen it yet, it was on. Was it on the Never Enough Ammo channel?
Mr. Matt. I think it's the Mr. Matt.
It was on. I don't know. Either way, he's been running the Mr. Matt Vlogs channel.
Yeah.
Mr. Matt Vlogs, MisterMatt, V like Victor, LOGES. Mr. Matt Vlogs or Vlogs, depending on how you say it.
Yeah.
Mr. Matt Vlogs.
Yep.
Put out a new video today about things that we're just learning now about the shooting in Orlando, the nightclub shooting. It turns out the guy actually apparently went to Disney first. They have video surveillance footage of him sneaking a gun into a baby carriage or a stroller, something, going into Disney with this gun because he knew that it was not going to be something that he wanted to try. So Disney abiding.
Yeah.
If you follow laws and you do not go to Disney armed, like you shouldn't, because it's a gun. Even though I test gun-free zones, we have to abide by the laws now, or we're no better than the people that break them.
They've had people illegally conceal carry, and their firearms have fallen off of them during rides.
Oh, sure.
That's happened a couple times. And one of them actually went off, and another one did not.
Wow.
They've had one ND.
Don't take your gun to Disney. That's just
don't wear it on the teacup ride because it's gonna flick it right out of your Kydex holster. Get an Alien Gear instead, because that won't happen.
That's right. Alien Gear Holsters.
AlienGear.com.
AlienGearHolsters.com. Tell that I'm wearing it. I'm not gonna say where in my waistband, but it's an IWB holster, and it's in a place where I'm seated in this car, and it's a.
She just said welcome to Nebraska.
She did say welcome to Nebraska.
She even sounded like a Nebraskan. She said welcome to Nebraska.
Welcome to Nebraska.
The good life.
Welcome to the big show.
Welcome to when you get to slow down to 55 miles an hour.
We're coming past a town. You have to slow down to 55 for this town.
Do we really? Let's be honest. Should this really be a 55?
Because a couple times a day, well, maybe not all day, but a couple times a day,
trucks,
the busy interstate.
If you go down there, they have these divided highways where you can go 70.
Yeah.
And there are trucks going across and cars going across it,
I know.
And they want to be safe. They want to do it for the children.
I'm actually
They wanna do it for the
18 miles from where I used to live right now. Of course, I've lived in a lot of places in Nebraska. I've only lived in Nebraska, but I've lived in a lot of places in Nebraska. Down that road about 18. This may or may not hold for a while. We might have about 15, 20 miles here where it's going to be kind of iffy with my cell coverage. The company that I work for just recently acquired the airwaves in the area where we are. But, you know, due to things like money, you can't just build, you know, a couple dozen cell towers overnight. And so we bought this area. My company can roam on AT&T. And we'll stop for now.
All right, man.
Oh, we're back.
Yay! All right.
Apparently, I don't have to touch reconnect, and it'll just do it on its own.
Yeah.
We're going to be in and out for a while, about 15, 20 minutes, and then we'll be back.
There you go.
Probably.
We do just bust out some random country music songs from time to time, too. I mean, I listen to everything.
That's right.
I've grown up listening to all kinds. I grew up listening to classic rock, 80s pop on MTV, rap
I hear
towards the end of
the
the
train
80s.
a-comin', it's rolling round the bend, but I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when. I'm stuck in Mrs. Tooch's car. Time keeps dragging on.
Keep dragging on.
But that train keeps rolling on down to San Antone. When I was just a baby, my mama told me, son, always be a good boy, don't you never play with guns. But I shot a man in Reno just to watch him die. When I hear that train a-comin', I hang my head and cry.
That's some good stuff right there.
I think we shouldn't subject them to
I think we should go. Dude, I mean, yeah, my voice, I can't do that now. I can't. My high F has been completely eliminated.
Is that a high F?
Hitting it on Bohemian Rhapsody. I just call it that.
I don't. Okay.
I don't
know notes.
I don't know either. I did an entire season of choir at church, and I cannot. I mean, I kind of know when to go up and down in terms of the voice, but I don't know when she says, okay, it's gonna be double time B flat, dude. That's like speaking.
Yeah, you know those people that you can hand them like a hymnal.
Yeah.
And they can start singing a song. Like they can look at the sheet music and just sing the song like with the notes and stuff.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
Well, I mean, like if I hear it, I can sing along with everybody else. Once I do it a couple times, I'm good with it. But I can't read
yeah.
music.
If it's like a 5-verse song by verse 4, I've kind of got it.
My sheet music is a place to just jot notes about what I'm supposed to do at that point, and I don't really look at the. Like I'll mark special notes if I'm supposed to pay attention to a certain part.
Oh, cool.
Make sure I don't screw up, because I'll notice like low or high. I get that part, but I mainly just train my ear to listen to what the people say.
I sing by ear.
When we had our Easter concert,
This is weird because I guess a lot of people sing by mouth.
yes, this is true. This you and
It's a talent that I have.
for the choir concert we did, we got a CD we got to listen to that had our part on it. They had a soprano CD, a tenor, bass, alto.
Oh, sweet.
CDs. Your part was highlighted
That
in the
sounds
CD.
fancy.
It would pick. It was okay. This is cool. The program was called Redeemed. It was actually the Grammy award-winning contemporary Christian choir program. They actually got a Grammy for it. But Capitol Records released this.
Ooh, I like Capitol
And so it
Records.
was new, it was modern, it was easy to sing, it was designed without having complex individual parts. Everybody pretty much sang at the same time, except there'd be parts where your sopranos and altos would sing, and then your tenors and basses would sing. But the CD
Mama
was
sing
cool.
bass?
Daddy sang tenor.
Okay,
Me
cool.
little brother, we just
Joined right
joined
in.
right there. I mean, there's a silver lining behind every clown. It's true. One of these days, and it won't be long, I'll be joining them singing a song. But what's cool about it is having the CD. I could play that and hear my part highlighted in the CD. They would take the bass vocal track and they would boost it so you could hear it. So you knew what you're supposed to say and when you're supposed to sing it. So I would pop the CD in, and anytime we'd make a road trip to Grandpa and Grandma's or Mom and Dad's, that we'd have that CD playing so we could practice, we could hear it. So when I would sing the song, it was easy for me because I listened to that CD so much, I knew how the song was supposed to go.
Right.
I was like a trained dog. As soon as that song started playing, I was like,
As soon
here's
as the
a
bell
pickup.
rang,
I
Travis
know
started
this
slobbering.
one. I know this one. And it made it easier because I had kind of a frustrating chorus year last year because I was not trained and I didn't have a voice that was developed for singing so much, and I didn't really know what to do or how to really get into a good song. This year was actually a lot more enjoyable. So I do enjoy singing just because two things about me that's weird. I was not a musical person as a kid growing up. Couldn't play the guitar. I was never in band. Couldn't do anything. Barely could play kazoo. And then being able to get into chorus was fun for me because I could actually do something musical instead of just buy music and listen and sing in the car. And the other thing that was cool was learning how to make the YouTube videos. Making them kind of fun and exciting and trying new stupid things, whether it's a little video effect or putting music in the video. That is the only remotely creative thing I can do. And I don't even know if it's any good, but I enjoy it. It's fun. You know, I mean, I've got my video program figured out. There's so much stuff the video program can do that I'll probably never use. But I do enjoy that part of it. So those are the only two I can't draw, I can't paint, I can't play a guitar. I have one, I've had it for 5 years now, and I haven't actually done much with it except strum on it a little bit.
I barely can play the radio.
There you go. There you have it. So we are...
Which is sad because people pay me to play music at their wedding.
But you and I could give out the detailed specs on a 243 round, or we could.
It's true.
We could take apart most firearms and clean them and successfully reassemble them.
At least, field strip them and clean them after shooting them. I couldn't disassemble the bolt on my Remington 788, but I can take the bolt out of it, clean it up, and clean the bore.
We could teach you how to track deer based on the direction of the droppings and the moist factor of it, and
the direction
of the
of
brush and
the direction of the hoof prints.
Yes, we can do
and
that.
how to tell if it's a buck or not, because if you see dew claw prints, does not always mean it's a buck.
Yeah.
You have to actually see better than the front legs, because a buck's shoulders are broader, so his front legs are going to be wider, and a doe's hips are broader, and so her hind hoof prints will be wider. And if you find hoof prints, they always overstep the rear hoof will always barely step in front of the front hoof. So the front hoof print, when they overlap like that, the front one, if it's on the outside, it's a doe, and if it's on the inside, it's a buck. Whether or not you see dew claw prints, because that could be a heavy doe.
This is true.
A doe could get heavy enough to sink into the mud deep enough that her dew claw prints dimple the ground.
And we get these where we live because we have some very well-fed deer.
We have well-fed, corn-fed deer,
yes.
but we have big deer.
Yeah.
If you have...
But 2 feet long, you know, I mean, nice big old strapping buck, tenderloins.
Oh, yeah.
No, I mean, you're
a
going to get
good tenderloin's going to be 2.5, 3 feet long. Oh, man. Now I'm hungry. Oh, man.
Yep.
Backstrap. If you don't know your cuts, that's the backstrap.
Yes.
That is the second best part of the deer. The only thing better, that's the loin. The tenderloin comes from the inside, actually. But the tenderloin and the loin, or the backstrap, that's like meat. Well, bacon is meat candy, but deer backstrap is close to meat candy.
Yep.
That's like meat meat confection. Anyway.
That's pretty much it. That does sum it up really well.
Like if you like cake or cookies or brownies or whatever, like deer backstrap would be that version of the dessert world. And bacon is meat candy. And bacon bits are like the pixie dust of the meat world.
So is candied bacon?
You can sprinkle bacon bits on anything.
Candied bacon just called heaven then? Because you can get bacon that's been candied, like
candied bacon,
or
maybe
chocolate covered bacon.
I don't know,
you know?
But here's the thing: is I think even Matt would agree that if it's bacon, you can take those sprinkles and put them on anything and make it better. The only good sprinkles are made of bacon.
Yes.
Not Crisco.
Not Bacos.
Because actual sprinkles, you know what those are made of? Just vegetable shortening. They're Crisco is what they are.
Sprinkles?
Yes.
I thought they're just
they're shortening.
Like sugar.
Well, they're sugar and shortening.
Okay, yeah, that's been cut into little pellets.
That's been extruded into little pellets. Yes.
Yeah, that's it.
Extruded. It's a fun word to say.
They feed it to a civet cat.
Extruded.
Extruded. They feed a civet cat that they lock in a cage and it poops.
Civet sprinkles.
They feed it. They shove Crisco and sugar. They feed it a force-fed diet.
Yes.
Of Crisco and sugar.
It's like civet foie gras.
And it poops out.
Wow.
It poops out the special pod that when you let it dry out in the sun, you wash it first. You let it dry out in the sun. You crack it open. It's full of sprinkles.
It's full of sprinkles.
That's how sprinkles come from.
That's right. So if you like sprinkles, you're eating civet poop.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You know, I hate to paint that image, but
you can believe it because you heard it on the interwebs.
Exactly.
You can believe anything you
Yep.
hear or read on the interwebs. We wouldn't lie to you.
By the way, real quick, check out the Gatling gun video that I did yesterday because Kenny Bell was in that video. Fantastic Nebraska Cornhusker football player. Kenny Bell made a guest appearance.
I saw that. It looked to me like Kenny Bell really has let himself go.
Oh boy.
Are you
There's a
stopping?
stop sign there, homeboy.
That worries me.
I really don't want to end up a statistic before I go
neither.
home. I mean, it's a safe car, but I really would like to be in school tomorrow.
Especially where I've got this thing trained on us and not as a dash cam to prove that. I'm glad
no
you
doubt.
stopped.
Yeah,
we had a near miss accident. We almost died just now, except for.
See.
Well, it really wasn't that serious, was it?
What I try to tell my wife is when people approach you when you're going 65 miles an hour, you have these intersections here. Out from the country, people are coming in from their homes.
We're not on an interstate highway. We're on just a regular,
highway.
4-lane divided highway where you don't have exits. You just have turns.
You have some turn lanes and you can turn left or right.
Right, like people can just turn onto the road. Like they don't have to come to an exit and merge onto a ramp. You just turn.
You get nervous because these people come rolling up on you. Don't brake until the very end. And sometimes they'll whiz right past the stop sign and almost come right up to the road. This guy,
the stop sign was like 3 car lengths back from the edge of the highway.
Yeah, you can.
And he didn't stop until he got to the white line.
Like, bro, are you gonna stop or do you want a death wish? Because
like, I don't know if we don't look intimidating in the Mrs. Teachmobile or what.
Probably not. If this had been a giant Chevy Silverado, honey, which I think we should probably buy by now,
or a Peterbilt.
That works too. We can get one of those too. I'm fine with it. And so if you see that,
or a
maybe I can tell my wife that we'll get seen easier for one of those vehicles.
Or a Bighorn edition Dodge Mega
Ram,
Cab,
Mega
Cab.
You know what? Screw.
Dodge Ram Dually.
It's always going to be a Dodge Ram.
Trying to merge over to get out of the expo.
So everybody was incredibly polite as we were leaving the gun show yesterday.
Yes, it was nice.
One little cocky dude driving a Dodge Dually. Explain the story.
Well, we don't know that he was the cocky one. All we know is that there are two parallel lanes, 2 lanes going out of the expo center to get onto the street. In the right lane you can turn right, in the left lane you can turn left. You cannot go straight because there's not a street that goes on the other side.
Yeah.
So you got to turn left or right. And this big Dually Dodge Mega Cab Bighorn edition
pickup truck, for those who don't know what we're talking about.
Duallies means he's got 2 wheels on each side on the back, not just 1 wheel on each side in the back. Good for pulling trailers and stuff, but it sticks out a ways. And then there was a Lincoln MKZ.
It was a Lincoln MKS.
I don't know Lincoln cars, but this was not a cheap.
No, my wife loves them. She wants to buy them. So
this wasn't like a '92 Pontiac Grand Am that he. So what happened was the guy in the pickup decided that he was in the left lane, but he wanted to turn right, so he had to get over into the right lane before he got up to the street. And the Lincoln was already in the right lane, and they had a little bit of a meeting of the back Dually hubcap and the front corner of the Lincoln bumper maybe got together, and the Lincoln did not win that battle. The Dodge lost a hubcap, and that was it.
Yeah, the Lincoln
had probably $3,000 to $5,000 worth of damage. Just in that front corner.
And he clipped the fender on top of it.
Yeah, headlight and all the plastic or fiberglass or whatever it is.
And the funny part though is that Dually's completely at fault, because if he had pulled, he had no right to be trying to cross over in front of that woman who had the right of way.
Well, like
Even
I said,
if she wouldn't let him over.
Like I said, I didn't see how it happened. Did he start across and then she wasn't looking and got up there in his way, or did he not pay attention and go over before he should have? I don't know who was at fault, and I don't know what the traffic laws are in Oklahoma, and it wasn't on a public street.
Oh, this is true.
So I don't know if it would have mattered.
They did not quite make it out into the intersection at
now
that point.
They did both of them pull around the corner onto the street and then pull over.
And hopefully the guy
they had to get out of the way to let other cars out.
Maybe realized that he should have been paying attention to his vehicle width.
So yeah, I don't know for sure what happened, and I didn't see the way that I knew that this happened was I saw something flash in the sun. The sun glared off that hubcap as it was.
And see, I didn't notice it. I was looking away, and I looked and saw the truck next to the Lincoln, and all I saw was a front bumper hanging off. So I didn't actually see the truck hit it. But we are just assuming that's what happened, because you wouldn't be able to drive the car in that kind of condition.
The way that because we were riding with Foose in his pickup, and as we were pulling away, Foose looked in the rearview mirror, and because we were driving the other direction from the way they turned, and he said, "Oh yeah, they just pulled over. That must be what happened." So we're putting 2 and 2 together.
Yep.
is what we're doing. A little bit of deductive reasoning.
A little bit of that.
That's right.
I'm telling you, man.
That's right.
It was a good firearms. It got to a point where, I mean, we loved it. It was incredible. And if you're the kind of person that's looking for the double barrel, or the pump action 22, or the lever gun, right, or whatever, you're gonna have good luck there. Me, I mean, I wasn't really, other than just like looking for the Taurus, I was also looking for the Midland Backpack break action single shot shotgun, which is brand new. Well, it's been out for like 3 months now. Matt from Never Enough Ammo, Mr. Matt's Vlogs, has one. I finally ordered one because Bud's Guns had been sold out for about a month. I got a notification that they came back in, and I went ahead and ordered one. I did not see one at that show. Now, any of these guns could have sold. There could have been 5, and somebody could snag them all up. We don't know. I mean,
the problem is we walked around, and what did we put? Probably 20 miles on.
In walking?
In walking in a given day, probably not. 10.
You know what though?
5 to 10 miles. Easy.
Every length is probably a quarter mile.
It's true.
From one side of that building to the other, at least an eighth of a mile on the top floor.
I didn't have a pedometer going to check. I didn't think about it until it was too late.
It was a pretty significant amount of,
how far we walked in a given day. But it was a lot. Wear comfortable shoes if you go.
Oh god, yeah. I don't care what they look like. Nobody's gonna care.
Nobody cares what they look like. Wear the most comfortable shoes.
I had these neon green and black ones, and I didn't want to be mistaken for construction worker, but they're the softest Nikes. I can wear them all day like slippers, but they're comfortable enough to give me support to wear all day, and I'm killing myself for not wearing them because my feet are pretty beat up right now.
Unless the most comfortable shoes you own are Crocs, in which case throw them away. Sorry, but
yeah. What are you, Mario Batoli?
Yeah.
He used to always wear those in his TV shows.
That's right.
And I'm sure they have their purpose and their place, but just not in a gun show.
Maybe they're comfortable, and I'm just.
What about camo? What about camo? Does that qualify?
Don't think
Because
so.
they make them in camo.
I know they do.
Okay.
I'm still camouflage a turd, still a turd.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yep.
Maybe Crocs are just super comfortable, and I don't know what I'm missing. Maybe that's it. I don't know. Not trying to Croc shame anybody. If you like Crocs, then cool. Good on you, mate.
More power to you. If you like Birkenstocks, thank you for supporting the beef industry.
Thank you. If you like Birkenstocks, chances are you're not watching a gun channel.
Well, you could be a vegetarian or vegan or whatever that
Well, if you're a vegan and you wear Birkenstocks, then you're not supporting the beef industry because you have canvas ones, not leather. Because vegan means not just they don't eat meat, but they won't use any animal product whatsoever, or they won't eat food that contains ingredients with animal products. I have a friend whose daughter is vegan, and I mean, I've been out to eat at a restaurant with her, and she just pulls up a website, puts in the restaurant, and it tells her a list of vegan approved things on the menu she can order. And it's very, very limited in some of the places that I would eat. What the vegans are actually, what is considered a vegan dish and what's not. So
what's really sad about people that wear Birkenstocks is that they are contributing to deforestation because you've got those cork soles.
Cork goes really fast though.
That doesn't matter. That one time was virgin growth forest that's not there anymore.
That's okay because trees are a renewable resource, dude.
You lose the biodiversity that was there.
Trees are a renewable resource, just like cows are.
The monkeys leave, and they can't find a place to go, so they end up in town because they had to leave their cork trees in Portugal.
Okay, that's true. Sorry.
Monkeys leave.
I'm sorry, Portuguese monkeys.
We're going. Is that skunk?
Yes.
Corona.
Yes.
Corona. I think I smell some Corona.
Wow.
Because it always smells like Corona or Heineken. Now we're not saying we're not drinking. We're saying skunk. If you ever go over one, it smells like a lager.
It smells like
a
Corona.
Eau de lager.
Eau de le Pew.
Like a stale bottle of Aquavelle.
Or the reverse is true because I've never had a Corona or a Heineken. So
when you go over,
Travis thinks that skunk smells like Corona. Well, so now I know what Corona smells like. Corona smells like
smell to it.
A skunk.
Yeah, it does.
I'm not a beer drinker.
It does. Yeah.
Not a beer drinker.
So does Modelo.
I don't know the smell of lager.
So does Modelo does also.
He drinks a whiskey drink. He drinks a lager drink.
He drinks a
cider drink. He sings the songs that remind him of the good times. He sings the songs that remind him of the better times. And then there's
next door neighbor.
Let's see.
Bum, bum,
This is
bum,
why I'm riding with Travis.
Road don't leave me hanging.
What?
Because I get...
Oh. So I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never gonna keep me down.
I get knocked
Yes.
down, and I get up again. All right.
You know,
that was a classic. Man.
not
That's
a
great
lot
song.
of people really understand this, but I don't have a very good English accent.
English accent.
I'm not very good at the
You
English
know,
one.
it could be because you're from Worcestershire and you're not from
I'm not from...
Norfolk. The folks of Norfolk.
Right now, I'm not from Worcestershire. I'm from
now
Chiswick.
You're going all Cockney on us. Why
I'm
would you
going
go-
all Cockney.
Oh, there you
He's
go.
the governor.
I think you
Wait,
were
that
in
just
the,
turned into almost Australian.
G'day, mate.
G'day.
How's everybody doing? Good to see you all. Maybe Vandalistica Vlogs is probably watching this right now. I hope you enjoy
No,
this.
I think Vandalistica Vlogs is probably
You
sleeping
know, it's,
right now.
it's really sad that the only
I can't remember what
view
the-
that people have of Australia is Crocodile Dundee. And
That is the single biggest movie that
You know.
the rest of the world has ever seen.
And we all associate Subarus with Outbacks. I'd love to see a Subaru actually go into the Outback. You know,
I think it happens all the time. They are built there.
the Subaru Outback from Japan.
No, Subarus are built in Australia.
No, Subaru Outbacks are made by Fuji India. Well, okay, now they're made in the U.S. Before they're made in
True.
Japan.
Oh, they were
Subarus
made
are
in Japan?
Oh yeah,
But
they're a
Subaru
Japanese
is an
vehicle.
Aussie company, right?
No, Subaru's a Japanese.
Why
company.
did I always think
They're
they
owned
were
by Fuji.
Aussie?
Fuji Heavy Industries owns them.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
I've been misinformed my whole life.
Australian, Holden is an Australian
Now-
company, and
Next
well,
thing,
Ford,
next
I mean,
thing
there's
you're gonna
cars out
tell
there.
me that fortune cookies don't actually come from China.
No, they come from San Francisco. Actually. Yeah, but no. God, dude, there's two major. They've got Fords that they sell in Australia that they never sold in the U.S. There's Holden, and then there's another company, and some of those cars have actually made it here to the U.S. in a rebadged version. The Pontiac G6 or G8. The G6 or G8 is a rebadged Holden,
You
and
can
the
soar like a G6.
the Chevy SS. It's just a rear-wheel drive car.
Yeah.
That and I think maybe the Chevy Pursuit, the newest Chevy cop car, those are based off of either they are built in Australia. No, they are built in Australia, but they come here and they're retrofitted. The dashes aren't in them. And I don't know. Something
They
about
gotta-
it. The
they gotta
platforms
move the
are
steering wheel
Australian.
over.
Yeah,
Put it on the right side, which is the left side.
yeah. So
of
we
the
don't need
car.
to make it into a car talk because I'm going to go all geek on cars. If that's the
Okay.
situation.
Yeah, well, and I know how to drive a car, and I know how to do basic maintenance. I mean, I can change tires, change oil. I can change, spark plugs and stuff. But
There you go. Yeah, that's. Yeah.
but aside from that, anything
But
else,
really, that'll get you by quite a
I
bit.
hire
Quite a bit.
done.
Oh man.
I know how to. I am smart enough to know that I got to change my my winter air out to summer air pretty soon.
Yeah, that's well. You need to make sure you got enough summer air in there right now. Well,
No,
yeah, you got to let the summer. air
No, I
out
have to
because
have
you're
the
running
air
winter
rotated in my tires and get the
You
winter
do.
air out and
You
the
do.
summer air in. I know that much. I'm not
You do.
dumb.
No, I know.
I'm not stupid.
So those of you that put
It's not
air
gonna
in
be
your
like
tires,
that time that you sent me into Napa to buy blinker fluid and they laughed at me.
Well, I mean, I didn't. I just thought that you would catch on at some point. But really, there is such a thing as summer air and winter air in a tire. So
Okay, this is true.
you put the air in your tire, and you've got
there
air
is
in
such
your
a thing
tire.
as cold air on the outside of the tire and warm air on the outside of the tire, and air pressure changes the volume of the air in the tire.
No, because what
Or
happens
temperature
in
will
Nebraska
change.
is when summer
Temperature
happens,
changes
you got to
the
let out
volume.
the summer air. Because summer happens, it's either in wintertime you gotta keep the air. You either gotta have a winter air pressure or a summer air pressure.
Oh, that
So
is
you're running summer air or winter air.
the pressure.
And it is air, pushed into the tire at that time of the year.
Because air, like so many substances in the universe, air expands as it warms
yes.
up.
Yes.
So if you
Yes.
have your tires at the the normal, the right
33 psi.
the
Let's
right
just say 33.
say it's 33 psi.
Yeah.
And then
You're in
spring-
Nebraska.
and you're in Nebraska.
And spring happens
Spring
in 48
happens.
hours, and you go
And it-
from 40 to
and it snowed on Monday, and by Thursday it's 60
80
degrees
85.
or 85 degrees.
Yes, it's 85. That's your spring. You have your 3-day transition.
The air pressure, the air in your tires
Yeah.
really does expand. The pressure goes up, so you have to let some out.
You don't want to run your tires
This
too
is
hot.
this is the time of year when you have to constantly check your air pressure.
I think in the springtime you see so many blowouts on the road coming through Nebraska because people are coming from places where the elevation's different.
Yep.
Temperature's different.
Elevation is a
Semis.
huge factor
Oh,
too.
yeah. You thin out the air.
Thin out the
Now-
air. It's cooler, but there's less atmospheric pressure on the outside of the tire.
This car did have the nitrogen-filled tires from the factory. They filled it with nitrogen for us. I thought it'd be
Ooh,
cool.
nice.
We didn't even have to check them.
But
like,
those things didn't fog over.
no, not at all. Not
Yeah,
at all. Just like
nice.
my scope.
Just like my
The
binoculars.
tires stayed clear and black the whole time. But the funny part is with those tires, at one point we had to start putting air in them because the low pressure signal came on. Because after about a year, they had lost enough pressure to get down to 29 psi. It's a pain and it's not worth it. You're better off just putting air in the tire because what's going to happen is you're going to eventually have to blend in more air compressor oxygen in order to get your tire back up to where it was before. And it's not that the tire doesn't, it's weird. The nitrogen the molecules are thinner, so it's a slower dispersion through the tire through osmosis.
Mm-hmm.
It's a slower bleeding of the air through the rubber, and it's less reactive to temperature, but it's a slower progressive. So unless you've got a nitrogen tank, save the $20 and just go buy ammo instead. You'll enjoy it more often than having to find a place to take your car on a Sunday when it's 0 degrees outside to get air, because a year after you got the nitrogen, your tires are now low. That's a pretty complex explanation for air pressure.
That was.
But save the money. Don't get the nitrogen fill. You don't need it.
Suck it, Bill Nye.
Unless you're racing and
We're so
temperature
much better at
stability is
this.
crucial, don't get nitrogen-filled tires. We are 32 miles from York.
Are we almost to Hebron?
Do you
Are
want
we
me to
past
stop, or
Hebron?
do you want me to go on? Do you want to go on to York and we can stop, or what would you like to do?
No, I don't want to stop.
Yeah, we're 31 miles to York.
Did we already go past Hebron? I was talking and not paying attention. I was going to make a comment when we go past Hebron.
I don't think so, because Hebron's usually like 15 or 20 miles south.
Yes,
of
we're
York.
past Hebron.
Seriously?
So Hebron,
York is
Nebraska has the world's largest porch swing.
Yep.
And if you've
gotta
never
come see it.
If you've never seen, Google that stuff. World's largest porch swing. I can't talk.
Yeah.
Like a front porch swing. You know, like you would sit on your porch in the swing, like me and Charlotte, because I'm John Anderson.
Exactly.
Me and Charlotte, little Charlotte, she's as pretty as the angels when they sing. I can't believe I'm out here on the front porch in this swing, just a swinging.
We were swinging.
Swinging.
We were swinging. It's about my girlfriend, sweet as pumpkin pie.
That's the one. That's the one. Yes.
We were swinging. I haven't
Yes.
seen the video for that for probably 25 years.
That is Mr. John Anderson himself. He spells it differently than me.
No relation.
No relation.
Unfortunately, it'd be cool.
I
if he was
cannot
your
sing nearly as well as that dude, but I think.
daddy. What if he was your real
I
dad?
think you ain't even my real
You ain't
dad.
My real dad.
I'm a grown ass man.
You can say that.
I don't act like it.
No. We don't. Men don't usually grow up until they hit about 30, and then they kind of a little bit, just a little bit. We start to
30.
35.
That was almost 9 years ago for me.
Hey, it's my dad.
phone call.
It's my dad.
Hey, Travis's dad.
There we go. What's going on, Poppy? Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. We were completely surrounded by at a minimum.
Actual footage. This is a real phone call.
Yes, this is mine. I'm actually talking to my father right now. We're actually live on YouTube right now, Dad. We're talking. No, don't call me back later. We can talk now. It's all good. This is going to be entertaining for the people watching. There was a minimum of 30,000 guns. Anywhere between probably 30 and 50 to 60,000 guns. And there was a lot of cowboy guns, a lot of double barrels, a lot of pumps, a lot of lever actions. We're a cowboy country. Well, see, the guy told me, though, that there were a lot more AKs and ARs 2 years ago.
We weren't that far from Stillwater.
But a lot of people snagged those up over right before the election, so that inventory wasn't there now. So a lot of guys are busting out their expensive collectibles. You know, we saw a Henry 22-250
Winchester
22
73.
Or was it Winchester 1873? That was $23,500. Wasn't there one that was $50,000? There was a Henry that was $50,000.
Was it like an actual?
It was like a
Henry
it was
lever
like
action?
a #1 production or something. Of
44.
I don't remember which one.
What was the first Henry in? The gun that you could load on Sunday and shoot all week. I don't remember what that was chambered in.
I don't know. But
I'll look
anyway,
it up.
no, Dad, it was awesome. It was unbelievable. I mean, there was stuff that I was looking for that I didn't see a lot of. I might have seen one or two, but you know, we were interviewing a lot of people and walking around, so we didn't get a chance to really you know, like look at guns a whole lot until Sunday. Oh, they were just like what you pay. They were what you pay in the store online. They were very fair, lower than I've seen in local gun shows here in Nebraska.
Okay, so it was a 44.
Yeah. No, it was way better. Way better. Yep. I just bought Shauna a little pocket knife that she's gonna like. She's hopefully not watching this right now. It's a gift for her. No, I didn't buy any guns at all because I've got 2 coming to SS Bond.
Shauna,
I got
if you're
that. I got
watching,
that
just
Glock.
forget
I
what
got
you
that
just
Glock
said.
17 coming, and then I've got my Midland shotgun coming too. My 12 gauge. So yeah, it was good stuff, dude. Yeah, man. Cool. No, everything was fine. Hotel was great. Food was pretty good. I ate at Cheddar's for the first time last night. That was freaking amazing. It's good. The service was fantastic, and their broccoli cheddar rice casserole is unbelievable. It is absolutely amazing. I can't even tell you how awesome it was.
Oh, honey, it's to die for.
It was
like
to
butter.
die for.
It's like butter.
It's like butter. Oh, I can't imagine how much butter I ate over the last 2 days. Then we went to Whataburger.
Yeah, we went to Whataburger.
We did Whataburger. Oh, it's awesome. Number 2 at Bacon. Yeah, they're good. It's not, I mean, we've had better burgers like at home and stuff, but they're for fast food. It's awesome.
Yeah,
Onion rings are great.
For being a burger joint on Hamburger Row.
Yeah,
it's
no
good.
doubt.
It's good.
Then where else did we go? We had. What did we have the first night? We only ate like 1 meal a day, and that was basically it.
Well, on the way down, we stopped at.
Where'd we stop?
Where did we eat? Five Guys.
Oh yeah, we went to Five Guys too and went there. That was really good. The fries were nice. We went to the Cabela's down in Wichita. It was cool. It was very cool.
Right.
Yeah, man, good time, dude. Yep. Just remind me. What city is it in, Dad? Clarkson is where the steak feed is.
Oh,
It's in Clarkson. Is it at a bar? Or is it at a? Where's it going to be at?
my wife works in Preston.
Oh, Catholic Grade School is going to be doing the fun. Okay.
And when is this?
The 28th of April.
Is that Saturday or Sunday?
Yeah, Saturday or Sunday, Dad? On a Saturday. It's on a Saturday.
Oh, I think I'm already doing something that night.
All right. Well, they're doing tickets for it, so yeah.
I'll find out.
Cool, man. Cool. Yeah, that's fine. Let me talk to Shauna and see if she'll be able to go. I think she'll be able to go, but I'll let you know. When you buying
Geneva,
tickets?
Nebraska.
You're buying tickets tomorrow? All right. Well, that's fine. I just want to make sure you can use hers, that she can use hers too, so. All right, yeah, we can take somebody along with us. Yeah. It was good stuff, dude. Yeah, man. All right, dude. Yeah. All right, cool, man. All right, take care, Dad. Love you too, Dad. All right. Bye.
What's the connection to Lady Gaga in Geneva, Nebraska?
Her boyfriend was
from here?
from Nebraska, so that's why she did the Nebraska I Love You
I know, but
song.
wasn't there something about? Was he from Geneva?
The video was filmed in like a southeastern corner of the state, just outside of a small town in the middle of a cornfield. But I don't know if it was close to like, where does Larry the Cable Guy live?
Pawnee City.
I want to say it was close to there, maybe. I
Okay.
don't know where her ex is from, because he was like a drummer for a punk band or something that she was dating for a while. Yeah. Hey, we got somebody watching. All right.
All right.
We're 26 miles from getting on the interstate, and then we got another 30 miles to my grandparents' house where we're going to drop off Sandhill Shooter so he can get home, get back to his wife, and we got to get back to reality tomorrow. Yeah, the Wanamaker Gun Show was just an experience. Everybody I talked to a few people that had gone to it before, and they're just like, dude, it's unreal. It's amazing. What I say, it's fantastic to see this much buying and selling of freedom, you know?
Yes.
And I mean that in like a positive kind of way.
It was refreshing to be surrounded by so much freedom.
Families, kids were there with their parents, not one
People
incident.
were pulling little red wagons around with the kids sitting in the wagon. It was neat.
And what's that? What was it, King George that had that quote on July 4th of 1776 in England, that on this day he declared that nothing happened?
Oh, really?
Well, you know what, King George? On this day, yesterday,
Nothing happened.
nothing happened, King
Nothing
George.
bad happened.
Bring it. Bring it.
Bring it.
Bring it. No, it was a good time. No, let's not. We don't want it. We don't encourage any
We don't
no.
want it to come to that.
No.
We don't
No.
want anything pried out of our cool dead hands. We just as soon not lose our freedom and come to an agreement.
So next Saturday, make sure you guys come to the Capital 2A rally in Lincoln, Nebraska. I'm going to be there. Are you going to be able to make it?
Lord willing, and the creek don't rise.
There we go. There we
Crick.
go.
There's an interesting word.
Crick.
That small, it's not a river. It's too small to be a river, but a little bit bigger than a stream.
But it's got crawdads and fish and
it's spelled,
frogs living in it.
yeah, it's spelled C-R-E-E-K.
Yeah.
But if you say it right, there's one right there. Turkey Creek Bridge. We're
See,
on Turkey
I
Creek
call it
Bridge.
creek. I call it creek.
I know,
but I think
but
it
you
might
say
be
it
more
wrong.
of a probably.
You say it wrong.
Worcestershire, Worcestershire.
Well, what meal do you eat in the evening?
Dinner,
Yeah, see, that's supper.
breakfast, lunch, and dinner. No,
Yeah, no, supper.
No.
Dinner's at noon.
No, breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Dinner's at noon, and
I hate the
supper
word
comes out.
supper. It just sounds. Why did you say supper?
Oh man, I love me some supper. I live for supper.
Let me see. Well, wasn't it because of typically you would eat like what was
I
it?
don't-
Dinner was the big meal of the day, and supper does not mean large meal
I don't-
typically in definition.
No.
I don't know.
I just know that where I came from, dinner was at noon, supper was in the evening, and out behind the house was a creek, not a creek. Also, where I come from, a Ford F-150 is not a truck.
It's a pickup.
It's a pickup.
pickup.
A truck
Is-
better have a dump box
Is the
or
F-150
air brakes.
Sorry, Foos, but is the F-150 really a truck?
Well, either way, no, it's not a truck because it doesn't have a dump box. It doesn't
Chevy.
have tandem axles.
Chevy's
It doesn't have air
pickup
brakes.
truck. Chevy.
It
Alright.
doesn't have a 10 or more speed transmission.
True.
So no, it's not a
Pickup.
truck.
I want to pick up. I need to say truck because it's quicker. I'll go get the truck.
If you don't need a CDL to drive it, then it is not a truck.
It ain't a truck.
It ain't no truck.
It ain't a truck. You can't take it down to the creek.
I don't know though. Like a delivery truck, like a UPS truck or a Schwann's truck.
It's more of commercial for hauling.
Those don't need a CDL.
Okay.
So
It's a delivery van.
There are a
Don't
few
call them
exceptions
delivery
to every
vans.
rule.
Are those delivery vans?
we could call it a van. Those are vans. So it's still not a truck. Because a truck requires a CDL. Unless it's a bus, and then that still
Yep.
requires a CDL.
Yep.
Or a limousine.
Yep.
Limousine requires basically a bus license or a limo license version of a CDL. I don't know much about limos, but my wife does because her parents owned and operated a limo company for 20 years or so before they retired and sold.
Oh.
So yeah,
Interesting.
Yeah.
Lots
Yep.
of good stuff today.
yeah. I don't know much about anything, but I know a little bit about a lot of things.
I don't know much, but I know I love you.
Wow.
So let me be all I need.
You're not getting
to
my
know.
Bud Light.
I don't know much, but I know I love you.
The look,
Let
the
me
feel, the
all
fabric
I need.
of our lives.
What are you singing?
That was Aaron Cotton. The Cotton commercial.
Oh.
The fabric of our. That was Aaron Neville.
Now you gotta be more.
The feel, the fabric of our lives.
You gotta get more of a.
I don't know. That sounds kind of like that old guy on Family Guy that chases Brian around in his walker. Hey, little boy. So no,
Yeah.
Aaron Neville should not be misconstrued with that creepy guy on Family Guy. I don't watch the show. I don't know his name.
Yeah. The old creepy man. No, Aaron Neville's way cooler than
Yeah, Aaron Neville is thebomb.com. So,
man. So.
and if he sings with Linda Ronstadt, then I
Yeah.
don't know much, but I know I love you too.
That's right. There you go. Let me be all I need to know. Man, talking about stuff. Are you gonna go out and practice shooting, or when are you gonna go out and do some? Gonna do some target? Any ideas?
When
excited
am
to go out? You
when am
excited
I
to go
gonna
out?
get 2.5 hours away
That's a
from
good
my house
point.
to shoot it?
It's a good point, man.
The nearest
God.
place I have to go shooting is just about as far away as your house.
All right, man.
However,
That's all right. Yes.
if I get a place closer, I find a place to shoot, you're darn skippy I'll be there.
There you go. I'm just waiting for spring to get here because it's 38 degrees. It is April in Nebraska, and the hypothesis is that
It's not a
it's fact.
hypothesis.
It is now a fact.
It is not an educated guess because if you go back and pay attention to the daily
Temperature
temperatures,
records.
the temperature
Yep.
records on record,
Yep.
winter is taking longer and longer to show up in the fall every year. We're not getting snow. I can remember snow. I can remember a blizzard in September when I was a kid. We always had frost by early to mid September. Homecoming was always in September, and it was always I can remember being bundled up because it was cold to be on that float. In the homecoming parade. I can remember how many times when we were all kids did Halloween get canceled or postponed because of the snow, and there was a blizzard or something, or it was just too cold. Maybe no snow, but just it was 20 below.
Yep.
We don't see that anymore. We haven't
some
had
zero, but nothing.
Well, yeah, I mean,
crazy for too long.
I was worried that we weren't even going to get a good snow by Christmas this year. But
it was like 55 degrees
but
before Christmas.
Also, back then when we had frost in September, we normally didn't have frost in April.
Yeah.
By March was kind of the last snow. There rarely was there an April, snowstorm or blizzard. May, no.
We had a snow day April 14th or April 15th last year for school because it was brutal. I mean, it was vicious.
Mm-hmm. Last year,
winter front come through and just.
Last year I got married.
Everything, man.
On Friday, May 5th. We woke up on Monday, May 1st, May Day. We woke up to about an inch of snow on the ground, half inch to an inch of snow on the ground. And my wife was panicking a little bit. Well, what if it's going to be nasty on Friday? I said, don't worry. The forecast says it's going to be nice. Don't worry about that. Keep praying for good weather, and you're going to get it. And we did. We had beautiful weather. People were in shirt sleeves, and we had an outdoor ceremony. So it worked out really well. We were blessed with a great day for a wedding. But yeah, that Monday morning before I got married on Friday, that Monday we had snow on the ground. And so winter is coming later and staying later.
Winter's coming, Jon Snow.
Winter is coming.
Winter's coming, Jon Snow.
Winter is still here.
Yeah, it still is. It's almost freezing.
I don't know. It looks like dreary fall
I was
now.
seriously ready to put away my collection of sweaters for the school year. I thought I was going to get the Bill Cosby's put away.
You leave those cardigans out, Mr. Rogers.
I don't rock the cardigans anymore.
Oh.
I've changed.
Pull over.
Yeah, basically.
Pull over.
Yeah.
No, it's a cardigan, but thanks for noticing.
Yeah, exactly. No, but it's...
Those of you that haven't seen Dumb and Dumber don't know what that was, and those of you that haven't seen Dumb and Dumber, shame on you.
It's a classic, man.
It's a classic.
Oh, man. So if you guys got any questions out there watching right now, let us know.
Yeah,
I have a viewer and 4 thumbs up.
We have 1 viewer and 4 thumbs up. So I will actually pay attention to the screen if anybody wants to make a comment or ask a question.
If you're the viewer, you could be Tardot watching. I don't know. It could be somebody random watching.
Maybe it's Vandal. Maybe Vandal woke up in the middle of the night and said,
"Hey." He's like, "What are these 2 clowns doing in the car?"
He's like, "Hey, you're live again. Get on, you mates."
Exactly.
I don't think Vandal really sounds like that.
No.
I think he sounds way cooler.
He does.
He sounds like an actual Kiwi in the Land of Oz.
He's the kind of dude that if he came over here, like we took him out, like we were all hanging out and stuff, like he'd walk up to some girl.
Vandal, you're welcome at my table anytime. You come out. You need to come hang out with us. Vandal, you should come to Wanamaker show next year.
Oh.
We should see if we could get like a crowdfund way to crowdfund a ticket for Vandal to come
bring
here.
Freedom to Australia.
Well, not to bring freedom, but just to come immerse yourself in freedom for 1 weekend. We got it done this year for John Z.
John Z from New York.
John Z, the John Z Project, JON, letter Z Project.
Yeah.
With our 1 viewer.
I like how it saves everything. Hey,
look at that.
Oh my gosh,
hey,
there's a bunch of...
Black Cat's on. RL, what's going on? Let me scroll through some of these. So he said supper. Where's the Europe playing in the background? Hey, it is the final countdown. He thinks that we should have ring mounted the Gatling gun. So, okay, so the Cosby sweater now comes with a free prescription for Rufinol. We don't have the chat turned off. I'm on my phone. So, these comments pop up when they're new, but then...
or when we have a strong enough signal for them to push through.
Well, no, they show up as they come in, but then they fade on the screen, and I can't pull it back up again.
I didn't even see them. I mean, they just suddenly came up when we were connected. So that's why.
That's true. That's true. But yeah, if you don't make a comment, then I can't see the old comments either. They did pop up because my phone tried to boot me, and I reconnected it.
There you go.
Yeah, but until then I couldn't see those comments. So now they're gone again. All I can see is Travis's beard, right where those comments would be.
Oh, good point.
Yeah. So
The beard might have been blocking the
but if
comments.
you have any questions about anything, now I can see you now, RL.
There you go. LMFO, you guys have that chat turned off.
Yeah. No, we didn't have it turned off.
Okay.
He thought we did. Like, well, why don't you have the chat?
Oh no,
on?
it only stays on the screen.
Yeah,
for
if
about
you've
5
ever
seconds.
gone live on your phone, you'll know what
And
I'm
I'm
saying.
trying to keep us alive to get home, so I'm not.
Yeah,
really
Travis
looking.
should
I'm
not be
glancing
looking at the
down.
phone. That's
No.
not safe. That's why he's got a co-pilot / navigator /
But
I'm in charge of the navigation.
But I am the wingman.
I thought I was the wingman.
No, I'm the wingman. You're the dude that goes for the kill, man. I'm the one that backs you up. I'm on your 6.
Okay.
I'm the wingman.
Okay.
I'll be the wingman.
All right. Well. All right.
All right. Cool.
I don't know what I'm killing.
But we got.
Usually I think of a-
crowdfunding to get Vandal back.
But he uses phone, so he knows. Yeah, let's go back to crowdfunding. So we need to get Vandal up here. I wish he was watching this. We know who's watching now. It's not Vandal. It's RL.
Man, that's cool that RL's with us.
It's awesome. I'm glad that we have the one viewer that we have. So thanks, RL, for being there when nobody else would be.
RL, can you do us a big favor and cut and paste the link to Gun Channels?
Yeah,
We're
Tardog
running
did
out
that
of time
once,
before.
but
Yeah, on YouTube when I get home, it's gonna be bad.
no kidding.
And I still
It's
got
getting
a load of stuff.
What's
in my
getting
grandma's still
creepy?
rolled up. What's that?
What did we say that was creepy?
I don't know. Maybe when we started singing to each other or something.
No, just now. He said it's getting creepy, and then he made a little laugh. He's like laughing his butt off face.
Okay, well that's.
But I
what
don't.
I was talking about the range to get to Grandma. Oh, you're talking about Grandpa and Grandma's house, maybe?
I don't know.
No, but seriously, my grandparents live in the town that we left from, and it's a shorter distance to get to where we need to go to the south.
I just said
Then it's
Grandpa
my
and Grandma
home or his
P11.
home.
I don't know what's creepy
Yeah.
about that.
I don't know. Well,
Or creepy about getting Vandal here.
Yeah, we got
Or
to get
creepy-
Vandal to get here.
What's creepy about asking you to paste the link to this over in Gun Channels for me because I can't do it on my phone. I don't know any of those. What's creepy about any of that?
He'll probably explain.
We're
it a little bit.
not holding hands or anything. That's
No, my hands are on the wheel.
well, they were until you let go of
They're
it.
not, but they are.
Yeah.
All right.
He's not me, but he's me. He's not me, but he's me.
There you go. I don't.
My name is Trevor Slattery. The best / worst role I've ever seen Ben Kingsley in is the Mandarin on Iron Man 3.
Oh God. Yes, this is.
Ole,
true.
ole, ole, ole.
That guy was a trip, man. I had no idea. I know. It's like, what? It was hilarious, but I was like, is this guy for real? This is, I'm an actor.
Connecting.
We're still kind of in a no man's land, although there's a cell tower right there.
That might even be my company's tower. It looks like it.
Is that one fired up yet?
Oh yeah. I'm back on. I'm not roaming anymore.
Okay.
I'm back in the land of unlimited data with no throttling.
I come from the
Those
land
of you
unlimited throttling.
that live in Nebraska or Colorado, hit me up because I can get you unlimited data with no throttling.
It's true. It's true. I was with this company
Those
for
of
a very long time.
you that live in Lexington, Nebraska, and work in public education and have a YouTube channel and are in the car with me, should get hooked up. But I'm not
I don't
naming
know
names.
if I know that person.
I'm not naming names.
No. 11. All right. There we go.
Papa Crackle.
Papa Crackle.
Crackle Daddy.
Crackle. I wonder how Crackle P11 Jr. was doing. I hadn't seen him pop up on any of the streams. So hopefully
He's
he had a
not
chance
subscribed to me, so he's never going to see this.
Oh, shoot. Well, then we can talk about him. So let's talk about
Crackle
Crackle
P11.
P11. Crackle P11 Jr. So we want him to be a part of what we do.
We don't want to. Here's what we don't want to see happen.
Yes.
Because we give him a lot of crap, and Ben, you take it really well for how much crap you get. Okay, but here's the thing: is we don't want Crackle P11 to just give up on YouTube and disappear, and nut and fancy bullied.
Yep.
We don't want to see Crackle get bullied so much that he just gives up and says, F you guys, I'm done with YouTube forever.
Yeah.
So and, is part of becoming a man. I mean, honestly, you got to learn how to take crap, or else you're going to make it in the world anyway. But we pick on him because we see the potential, and it's not always meanness. Some of it's constructive criticism, And I don't know if it's always received that way. Because when you pick on somebody for so long, they kind of just make whatever you say, they take offense because they expect that you're meaning it in a mean way. But we want to see Crackle P11 come along and learn how to talk maybe without so many F-bombs.
Yes.
Also, not everything is a challenge. Not everything needs to be a fight. So sometimes when people say something, you gotta just learn to smile and nod and say, okay, even if you don't agree.
You don't have to agree with the opinions of everybody else. Right. It's not
right. And when they try to give you advice, it's not because they're being mean. You know, we all have messed stuff up. We've learned from our mistakes, and we want everybody else to learn from our mistakes so they don't have to make them family friendly and PG. And he wants his live chats to be family friendly and PG as well. And everybody needs to respect that, because if you don't respect that, when you're on Travis's chat, you're in his home. Man. You're in his house. You go by the house rules. That's right.
Just if I would present a viewpoint that we might see as a little too radical, we might want to talk to you about that viewpoint that you have. And if you start going off, threatening any one individual group of people or saying that you would like to see this group eliminated, I mean, that kind of thing is not going to fly with us. We're not about...
Well, it's my chat too. I mean, this is my live video here. So here's one of the things that really burns me. This is the grumpy old man coming out. This brings out the grumpy old man. Libtard. The word libtard. Stop using the word libtard. Yes, I know that you think liberals are dumb and you disagree with what they say, but just
important
okay,
point.
We're back. So here's the thing. I used to work with Special Olympics. When I did, I also, and I got one for it, but I pledge saying that I not use our word. It's an you guys word when you see somebody who looks for they have to through their day, or maybe they have Down syndrome or something like that. You use that word. Pause.
Continue.
Okay. So I made a pledge to stop using that word, and I will honor that pledge. But the problem is when I hear the word libtard, now I'm talking about the word, I'm not calling somebody that.
Yeah, when you hear the word.
When I hear that word, it's like nails on a chalkboard to me, because it's that R word just cleverly hidden or changed to describe a liberal person. So I do not like the word libtard. Plus, the reason I like it is because when you use that word, you have already established that you are not open to communicating. And you've basically just closed off any avenue of back and forth discourse with somebody who has different viewpoints. I know what I believe until I have it challenged by what you believe.
No, I agree.
So I love, and plus, I mean, I love arguing, I love debate. So when I have somebody who is, anti-Second Amendment, hey, there's that Ram Dooley right there.
Yeah,
it almost looks like the same one, same color and everything. I didn't look at it. We were too far away. But no, if anybody is anti-Second Amendment or something like that, then you're welcome to sit down and discuss. You're not likely to change my mind, and I'm not likely to change your mind. But let's get these ideas out there. Isn't that out? Is getting these ideas, exchanging ideas.
And if you're starting off with name calling somebody, we're trying to.
That's right. That would be like saying, hey, I want to talk about racial equality and things like that, except for those N-words don't want to talk like that. Well, okay, I wonder why they don't want to talk to you if you're going to call them that. I wouldn't talk to you either, and I'm not even an African-American person. Or black, I don't know I'm not PC, and I don't want to trigger anybody.
If we want to be taken seriously as a formidable group of grown-ups that have an opinion that we want people to see, maybe not agree with, but respect, it's got to start with us. Mm-hmm. Because if we sit here and act mature and call people the names, and
then how are we?
We're never going to make progress. Exactly, we're never going to make progress and get our agenda across, which is a Second Amendment for every every American.
If giving up black guns would mean that we would leave, give all of our other freedoms back and bring all the other freedom back to the government, I would maybe consider it. But the problem is, they already told us they don't want to take away our guns. They only want to take away the full autos. But that wasn't enough. They weren't happy once they got that done. They want to take away more stuff now. So once we give up AR platform rifles, then what's going to happen? Then they're going to want all semi-automatic rifles. That's not going to be enough because you can still use a bolt action. They're going to say it's a sniper rifle. So they're going to take those away. That's not going to be enough. So I'm tired of just seeing my freedom slowly traded away by people who think they know what's best. I'll be the judge. But we're not going to get anybody convinced to look at it from our point of view if they think our point of view is you're a libtard. That's not. We can't do that. So please, process, because again, we're not going to gain anything if all we ever say is no offense to Night Strike, because it's important to say it. But we can't only say shall not be infringed or cold dead hands. We also have to be able to listen. We have to be able to figure out where we can. I don't say but what can we agree to agree on? What can we agree to disagree on? How are we going to know if we're not even able to talk to people? And why would anybody want to talk to you if you're just going to call them names from the start?
Yeah, they're going to feel threatened by it because they might already be intimidated or scared by you.
That's right. That's right.
Because they don't understand you. They don't understand, how
what if
the
you're
kind of person you really are.
What if you're not a brunette or a redhead? You happen to have blonde hair. Yeah. You go to sit down to have an honest discussion with somebody, and the first thing out more inch. So it's hard to figure out where do we go from there. I wish I had all the answers.
And I think we got to start on our own little grassroots local.
I think all I can do, all I can do is try and be as smart as I could possibly be, and tell people why I feel the way that I feel without coming across like a loony.
Yep.
Or a moony.
That too.
Yeah. I gain my inspiration from the light of the moon. Or if I'm a loony, I gain my inspiration from the might of the loon.
We don't have any loons in Nebraska.
No.
Doesn't matter.
None?
Once in a while you see them come through and migrate.
What about in the northeast corner? It's not that far from Minnesota.
That's a good question. I don't know. They might be on the migration route for the loon. It's a possibility. If anybody out there is a research biologist, we really need to know.
Yeah, really. Are there loons in Nebraska? Real ones. Like for instance, the common loon.
Yeah.
The bird that can dive the deepest. The common loon.
They may fly over Nebraska. They may stop in local waterways.
I don't know. I do know that I like the sound, the call of the loon.
Oh yeah.
I really do like that. At one point I had that as a notification tone on my phone.
It's cool.
Yeah, people got tired of it. Not me, but in the interest of a
sanity of your coworkers.
Yeah, the sanity of my coworkers and a smooth running workplace, I changed it.
Yeah.
But I do love the sound of the common loon call or cry or whatever. Yep, just like I love the sound of the western meadowlark, which is my state bird. But that takes me back instantly to childhood, being home, working in the hayfield. The western meadowlark song is so loud that I could be on a tractor running, full operating RPM, mowing hay, and still hear that bird. It takes me back to, I love the sound of the meadowlark, and I love the sound of the red-winged blackbird because it reminds me of fishing.
Oh yeah. Those are cool.
My 3 favorite bird sounds.
Yep. It's up there.
Absolutely.
The ones that excite me the most are probably the Asian ringneck dove. Because I know I'm close by and I'm out in the field and I'm looking for them.
Yeah.
I don't like to hear them in the neighborhoods because all they do is eat on everything.
Not the mourning dove? That's a cool sound too.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know if anybody else knows what I'm talking about. It looks like 0 people that are watching right now.
Yeah,
But the sound of a nighthawk. when they swoop down and the feathers make that sound.
Oh, so like.
Well, it's not.
Like a kite,
It's not
sort of,
just
you know?
flutter. No, it actually sounds like a. I can't really. I don't know if I could recreate the sound. I'm not a very good mimic.
No. So we've covered everything today.
We have talked about a lot of things and said nothing.
Nah, I think we really got a lot of
I
questions
don't
in the
know.
audience today, man.
We're so boring that even RL seems to have dropped off now. So.
Well, we were on for 4 hours or something like that. An hour. I mean, total, we were probably on for about 2.5, somewhere around there. I mean, it was a good chat, man. It was a very good chat. Good times were had by all.
Nighthawk dive sound. See if I can do this.
Yes.
Play YouTube while I'm on YouTube. No, okay. I'm not hearing words.
Interesting.
Maybe it's because I'm in a noisy car. I'm not hearing the sound I'm looking for. Well, there's a very distinct sound when a nighthawk dives through the air looking for mosquitoes and things like that. So, do better than I can do real quick. You can just go search that sound if you're curious. If you don't care, I guess that's fine.
Yeah, there we go.
But no, it's a cool whooshing sound. The vibration that those feathers make in the air.
So I got a nature question for you.
Okay.
Since we're talking animals and outdoors. And
Yeah.
We have the shepherd's hook with the suet feeder, the 2 square cubes of suet.
Oh yeah.
How do we prevent the squirrels from crawling up that hole?
You
Grease
want
it?
no, because that'll just get covered in dirt or whatever, make it goopy. No, here's the best thing that I've seen so far. I saw a video on Facebook of this. Somebody took a slinky and threaded it over the pole and attached it to the bottom of the bird feeder. So Mr. Squirrel climbs up the pole because he's good at this. Well, at some point he's not going to go up through the slinky, so he's got to grab hold of that slinky, and guess what's going to happen? Whoop! He just drops right back down to the ground.
You can't. Okay.
And he lets go. Slinky goes back up to its.
How do I just use like some wire up at the top?
Yeah, I
Just
don't know how they
just-
attached it.
You could probably just
is
band it off and just put
is
a
it
cable
wood?
tie at the top.
You could
It's
staple it?
It's just an iron,
You
the
could
shippers.
solder it, maybe. I don't know.
Probably just a plastic cable tie around it.
Just
sides of
take
it,
some needle nose pliers and take
bend
the
it.
take the end of the slinky and kind of bend a
Yeah, bend
crimp
around
and,
with the shepherd's
bend
hook
a
where it starts.
hook into it or something, so it's not going to come loose.
Yeah, because that little punk has knocked it off twice now and went through an entire cake in like one night. 2 cakes in like overnight, just going crazy
Wow.
with it. Well, and then when he hits it on the ground, then the birds just go nuts. It's on the ground, man.
It might take a while to get the slinky on the post because if the top doesn't go off that post, then you have to do it like a key ring, and just wind it all the way on there.
Yeah.
But other than that,
We'll have to try that.
give that a whirl, man.
We'll do that. We'll see what happens.
I kind of and then
Tabletop review coming up.
Then I want to see the film of that because it is funny.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna put it up
Sit
on
here
my,
and watch
on
it.
my
That,
yeah.
I'll probably get some serious views on that.
Yeah.
Because it's sad. I've done Instagram posts now for about a year, and I post a lot on Instagram. And the one time that I hashtagged my corgi video
Oh.
to Instagram, it was like 40,000 views in one day. It's like,
Wow.
oh my god!
It went
And all he
viral.
was doing was running around in the snow looking for rabbits.
Rabbits.
So I got my corgi. He's trained as a rabbit tracker now.
Oh yeah.
I've taken him out to the field next to the house where we have 3 to 4 rabbits at any given time, so he knows the scent.
Did you get him from Her Royal Majesty?
Yeah, he was decommissioned from MI6,
Okay, cool.
and yeah,
Cool.
yeah. No, he'll go down and get the scent, and I could let him go and he'd chase after him, but I don't, because I don't want him to actually get one, because I don't want him to. I mean, he takes pills and shots for. He gets his yearly shots, but he does get the heartworm pills. He takes canine advanced fleas and also worms. But I don't want him to get, because I've been told if they get a bite out of a rabbit, in the blood even, you can pick up the parasite apparently. I don't know.
Really? Well,
I know from eating the droppings, but it's kind of a tease. We have fun smoking them out. Basically, he'll go into the brush and flush them out,
Yeah, cool.
and then and when they run away, he'll follow the scent, lead me to where they are. By that point, they're halfway down the block, and he would take me all the way down there if I wanted to. And he knows when to do it. We'll be on the sidewalk walking, we'll be on the street. I'm like, Charlie, let's go look at rabbits. His ears perk up. He knows it. He's like, Because I turn around and we go towards any field, any grass.
Yeah.
He immediately goes into hunter killer mode. It's awesome. That's a corgi, man. That's a crazy thing. But they're fast. You don't realize it, but when they wind up. Remember, they're herding dogs in the UK.
Yeah.
They're used for sheep herding, and this guy was actually used on a cattle ranch a little bit with the sheep hounds that the family that owned him had. He was.
That's awesome.
He spent some time there.
They're fast. I mean, if you look at a sprinter, like some of the fastest sprinters are short people.
Yeah,
because they have that short stride that they can just pump those
wind
legs really
up
quickly.
when he goes. I mean, he's got some force.
And a corgi has got like how long are his legs? Like 3-4 inches.
There's 2 sections. Six total. Like both.
But honestly, like I always say, like a corgi, his legs are like that long.
He runs like a bunny. Like he puts the back legs back and kind of starts going like
Really, he bounds like that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
But then when he slows down, he trots.
I guess all dogs run like that when they're on a flat sprint.
Yeah, he starts popping his. He starts doing this.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
Or
right, like a rabbit.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. That's corgi sprint for in case you don't know.
Cool.
He is quick though. He'll hustle, man.
That was incredibly descriptive.
Well,
like I don't know if the camera picked up the same angle that I did.
That noise.
You have to.
And the other reason why I don't let him off is because if he went after a rabbit, he wouldn't stop.
Right.
So I got to worry about him getting hit on the busiest street in town, which runs just a half a block from our house.
Highway 30?
Because if he went after a rabbit, man, he would go and not pay attention to anything going on around him. No, it's 13th Street in Lexington.
Oh.
But people are usually looking at animals or looking for other cars. They're not paying attention to the little guy come running out of the car.
Well, he's short. He's going to come in.
Yeah, you're not going to see him. Yeah, he'd come out in front of a car. He's going to be like a cat size. He's
of course
cat's as tall as he is.
Of course, at the same time, he might just go right under a car. It might be safer. A big dog, the bumper's going to take him out, but a little dog, I
don't know, he's just tall enough that it's scary so that's why I don't let him off.
If he can avoid the tire, he'll be okay.
Yeah. We got the fence out back, so he's cool out back. He can't get out of the backyard. He's too short to knock the gate up and stuff, so that's kind of a scare that we sometimes get, so. Yes, we are heading to Grandma's.
I'm getting tired.
Yeah, man.
Not so tired that I can't make my last 2 hours home.
I might bum a Mountain Dew for the road. I'm going to send you home with that 12-pack because I don't do Mountain Dew. Just on these trips, you can have it.
Take what you need.
I'd rather have you take it because I'm good.
Yeah.
I actually left the Red Bull in my fridge up at school, so I'm ready for tomorrow morning.
Right on.
And my coffee.
This
in the woods of John C. I got my
John
coffee.
Z from New York City.
New York City.
My coffee.
This is good coffee.
I had to have somebody take me to the gas station.
What I don't like about it.
That gas station over by our hotel last night.
I need to go to Come and Go. I need to get some smokes. That's what John said.
He
told us that a carton of cigarettes in New York City is $75 a box. Was 75? No, $150
for a carton.
$150 because he said that they're 2.5 times more expensive than they were at the gas station.
Oh.
Then he paid $46 for a carton of cigarettes at the Come and Go in Tulsa. He said we want 40, 120, 135, 140 for a carton of cigarettes.
Wow.
In New York City, your pack a day, it's like $400 or $500 a month that you're paying to kill yourself. He says that's his only vice. He needs it to get by. That's he's a grown man. He makes his own choices.
That's right.
He might do that until he's 80 and just die a normal death like anybody else. Non-health related.
Like he has no way to defend himself.
Yeah.
Because he can't even have knives or anything, can he? He can't have airsoft even.
I don't think you can have anything.
Like I told him
frying pan, but you're still going to be brought up on charges if you use it to defend yourself.
It's true. We told him that we were looking at getting him the airsoft Mac 10 that we saw there at the show, and he said, "Yeah, I still can't have that." I said, "It's airsoft." He goes, "No, I still can't have that." I said, "It's got the little orange paint around the muzzle." He goes, "The only way that I could have it is if it wasn't there was no barrel in it. It was just a solid orange blank all the way down with no airsoft bore, no barrel bore through it." I'm like, that is messed up. And he said, yeah. So he was not looking very happy to have to leave all the freedom of what is
Did he buy that concealed carry holster, or did somebody buy that for him?
Somebody gave that to him. I can't remember. Somebody gave that to him last night.
Yeah.
It was P226 nut. It was Roland, I think, gave it to him because he got that from the manufacturer at the show, and he's having some stuff made. Maybe it's it was it was from the guy that he's going to have, either he's going to have or already does build knife sheaths for him.
Okay.
And it looked like just a little belt slide holster, just the one that's just a little narrow strip, and your barrel sticks out, out the bottom of it, and it just kind of fits whatever gun.
Yeah.
Except for this one didn't have 2 layers of leather.
Oh.
This one just was just a little flat piece of gun through there, and there wasn't a second piece of leather to hold it. Just your belt was the other side of it. So I thought, well, that's an interesting take on it. I've never seen one quite like that.
Mm-hmm.
I've always seen the ones that were 2 pieces of leather sewn together with the middle was left open, and you put the gun through it like that. So personally, I'm not a big fan of the ones that leave my front side exposed or my muzzle exposed.
Yeah.
But people like them.
Yeah. It's better than nothing, man.
It's better than no gun at all. Yeah.
You said that it would cost them about $1,000 to get the licensing and permission and permits, with no guarantee of being able to actually take possession of it.
Right.
$1,000 just to get anything like a 12-gauge shotgun to defend himself, because you have to explain why you think you deserve the right.
Yeah,
to
you
firearm.
have to convince who is it, the police chief or the sheriff?
Is that a may issue versus shall issue?
Yeah, it's a may issue, or it's a won't issue.
Yeah.
Some like New York and California are, well, I guess they call them may issue.
May not.
But it's basically a won't issue.
Yeah.
Because I like the shall issue states like my own. Here's the list of what you have to do to qualify for a permit, and if you meet all these criteria, you've been through the training course, you've never been adjudicated mentally ill, you've never been convicted of a felony, you've never been convicted of any domestic violence, felony or misdemeanor, all that stuff. You're a Nebraska resident for the last 6 months, you're over 21 years of age. Is that all of them? That's most of them.
Never renounced your citizenship.
Never renounced your citizenship. You've been fingerprinted. Your fingerprints are on file with the State Patrol of Nebraska.
Never charged with domestic assault.
Never charged with domestic assault. Yeah, never charged, not just never convicted.
Or is it? Have you ever been convicted of felony assault?
Well,
felonious assault.
or convicted of a felony at all.
Yeah.
So, anyway, yeah. I mean, we've got some pretty stringent criteria in order to get that permit. But if you meet the criteria and you give them $100, then you get your permit. It's just like going to get your driver's license. If you meet the criteria that you're old enough and you've passed the test, then you get, and again. But if you meet the state's criteria that they've set out in order to get a driver's license, then they can't tell you don't get a driver's license. In the same way with a concealed carry permit in our state, they can't tell you no. In New York, if the police chief doesn't think that you need it, which basically, if you've never been attacked, then good luck convincing around.
Yeah.
Then maybe they'll give you a permit. Normally, that one is conditional because you have to be at work to carry.
Yeah, you have to turn it in when you go.
Yep.
When you go before you go home.
And you're not allowed to have it at home.
Yep.
Never live in a place like that.
No, it's not.
Please, everybody, help.
Leave now while you can.
Well, don't leave now, but let's all make sure that we don't let it get to that point.
Yeah.
Like I keep saying, there are so many things that we can do before we have to get to the pry out of my cold dead hands stage. They're not getting my guns. If they come for my guns, they're not getting them. Why do we have to let it go to the point where they come for our guns?
This is true.
Why don't we just derail that train long before it ever gets to that station? How about we just say, let's vote people into our Congress who will not try and take them away to begin with, or won't send anybody to get them. Let's work on that. Let's work on raising public awareness that guns are not evil, and that people that own guns are not evil, and that evil people sometimes do own guns, but evil people will exist no matter what. We can't stop them. Mm-hmm. And there's a concept that I'm not going to say today live. I'm not going to say it, but I am going to use it as kind of the foundation of a speech that I'm hoping to be able to give at next week's Second Amendment rally at the Capitol in Lincoln. So I'm gonna have a couple points that I want to make in a short speech at that rally, and so and the organizer has said, yeah, that I will be allowed to say a few words. So hopefully I'm gonna have Travis record that,
Yep.
and then send me the video so I can post it on YouTube here on Sandhill Shooter.
Yep.
But be watching for that sometime after next Saturday, the 14th. But yeah, there's some things that I've been thinking about that I think need to be said, and I can't think of a better forum than a Second Amendment rally on the steps of my Capitol building in Lincoln.
I'd like to see a couple bump stocks there, because they're going to be losing that. That's suddenly
Yeah,
going to make
because
you a felon.
for 2 more weeks they can have them in Lincoln, and that's
Yep.
it.
And then after May 1st, you
3
have
weeks from
to
now.
sell it back, maybe a buyback on
I
them.
don't know. Can you send it away? Well, before May 1st.
What's wonderful about the Lincoln City Council when they passed that is they gave no provision to what to do if you are a non-resident of Lincoln but you own one with a bump stock.
Yeah, can you take it into
Is it
town?
once you pass through city limits, are you now officially a felon?
Because they made it a felony offense, right?
I believe so. Yes, with a fine and/or jail time or whatever.
That's
I mean,
fun.
it's whatever the case is. They gave
That's
no.
one. Here's a piece of
Yeah.
plastic that does not change the way my gun works inside, but because I own it and I took it with me into Lincoln,
Yeah.
because I didn't think that I should go research Lincoln laws, because I live 2 hours from Lincoln. Didn't occur to me to check Lincoln out like it's a foreign country to see if their laws
Are they going
different.
to have a no bump stocks sign right on the city limits?
They
when you come
better.
in? Say no bump stocks allowed, because how are you supposed to know that?
How would I know that?
You could be made a felon if you're another Nebraskan resident just going to visit your family.
That's another issue that should be addressed, because
Yep.
ignorance is no defense.
Yep.
It's not our fault
Yep.
you didn't know. But at the same time, we are also working on, I know that the unicameral in Lincoln is working on a measure right now that will eliminate the patchwork of laws in varying jurisdictions across the state and make everything uniform across the state.
More than overdue. And who knows how many people have gotten in trouble because of it and had lost their rights.
Yeah,
and
why is
had
it
to go through
something?
a legal counsel
Why is
to get
something
it.
that's legal in Norfolk or legal in Lexington may be illegal in Columbus?
It's ridiculous. It's the same thing. It's the same piece of plastic, and now suddenly it makes
Why
in the same state.
Why can I not? If my wife were to go to Omaha without me, and I say, "Hey, I want you to take a handgun with you," now she doesn't have a permit, so it's not like she'll be carrying it or have it concealed in the car, because that would be illegal. But if she wanted, she could have it lying on the front seat in plain view, legally.
Yeah.
Until she gets to Omaha. If she hasn't registered that gun in Omaha, then she's a criminal.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Even if it's open carry,
Yeah.
she's a criminal.
Oh, it's nuts, man.
I think it's just
And
ludicrous.
I hope that we see more people next week than what we saw at the first one.
which I thought wasn't very big.
I got
up
feeling
until
now that we're going after, maybe now that the bump stock people are out there, maybe.
maybe.
It's
now
people realize
that it's
wow,
getting
they
real.
can't just pass it
because
on a whim.
because last fall we had I guess the Las Vegas shooting had just happened, but since then we've had 3 more.
Yep.
That happened that have been all over the news. Well, okay, not all over the news. 1 all over the news. 2 of them, a good guy with a gun thwarted the bad guy with a gun, and we didn't hear much about it after the first couple days.
Yep.
But still, people are talking.
Yeah.
People hopefully are thinking. And so I really would like to see a lot more people show up at these rallies. And I thought we didn't have that big of a rally in Nebraska last year when we were there, because we had, about 70 people?
Yeah.
Until we started comparing notes the next week with all of the other gun channels contributors, content creators from their respective states, and found out that we had 2 people there that showed up, or South Carolina they had half a dozen people, 8 people.
And these are states that have 10 times our population.
Yeah, we have 1.5 million roughly
Yeah.
residents in Nebraska.
Yep.
So it just seems silly that Nebraska can kick out 70 people, and then South Carolina kicks out less than 10.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we are topping off the tank here in the Mrs. Toochmobile.
So if you're gonna grab yourself something, or
So I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Anybody that's replaying this and stuck with us till the end here. Thanks for hanging out with us.
It's been good, man.
It's been fun.
It's been an
It's
adventure.
been real.
It has been real.
It's been real
very
fun.
It's been surreal.
It's been surreal.
Surreal for real.
All right, well, we're going to sign off for now. I'm probably not going to go live driving home on my own just because I don't feel like talking to myself that long.
Give me some ideas to think about.
Coming up with stuff to fill that it would be pretty stupid, so I'm not going to do that.
Yep.
Plus, I'm going to find somebody else's chat maybe that I've missed over the weekend and just play that and not watch it while I'm driving, but listen to it.
Yep.
I'll probably do that instead. So
Yep.
keep in tune to Sandhill Shooter channel and Travis P11 channel and see what's going to be coming down the pike here. We'll see what things look like.
All right, take care.
Later, Gators.
All right, thanks, man. Okay, bye-bye.